Yo, what's good, folks? Welcome back to the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast. I'm your host, Seal the Source. Thank you again for tuning in every single time. It means so much to me, and I hope that you are gaining as much value as possible from each episode. Thank you so much if you've shared, liked, supported in any type of fashion, and just showing love in a big way to the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast. It is supremely appreciated, and man, I can't thank y'all enough. And you guys give me all the motivation I need to keep going, keep growing. And, without further ado, I really want to just break down this week's episode. I had a chance to speak to a dope dude that I met, man. Cool dude, real cool vibes. I mean, bruh, it was a fun conversation. We really had a chance to kind of have like a Joe Rogan-esque type of conversation where, the conversation definitely went long. You know what I'm saying? So just giving y'all a heads up. My guest today is Wally Hipolito. This dude is a fellow podcaster. He runs the Off The Stoop Podcast. He's also hosted a podcast in the past with a group of friends. Hopefully they'll make a return and maybe make something happen with that too. But definitely go check out my guys' podcast. Off The Stoop Podcast is a real dope podcast. I think you'll learn a lot and pick up a lot. He has some real cool content on there for you that ranges from talks about culture, talks about society, talks about music, sports. I mean, real life shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's just a dope conversation. And in today's conversation on the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast, Wally joins me. And honestly, man, this is like the first time we really talked. So full disclosure, we just met like a week prior to recording. And it was just dope vibes. We really had a chance to connect and rap about some game and just talk about life and talk about some of the things he's got going on. This man is not only a fellow podcaster, but he's also an aspiring comedian. He's done shows. I'm not exactly sure how many times he's done shows, but he's done shows a lot. He's been on stage a lot of the time. And it's just really inspiring because the dude is just going for it and he's out there doing his thing. And he's a funny dude. And he actually has like a great personality, and it was cool to catch up and talk to him and really get to know him and just have a dope conversation. This conversation is going to range from a whole, different variety of subjects, from, a little bit of politics, not too much, because y'all know me, man. I don't really like talk about politics too much. We talk about, just like mental health shit, talk about the comedian shit. We talk about sports a little bit. We talk about society a little bit. We talk about just life shit. And it's just a real dope conversation. So again, without further ado, I want y'all to enjoy this. There's a lot of like really fun moments in this. And I had a great time creating this episode with my guy, Wally, man. And for sure, he's going to be another person that you want to look out for because, he's going to be on the podcast again, and I'm pretty damn sure I'll be on the Off The Stoop podcast. So I'm looking forward to doing that as well. But much love to you. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope that you get all the value that you can possibly get out of this thing. And, like we do all the time on the Blessed Beyond Measure, I stress every time, keep going, keep growing, challenge yourself to get better every single day, and be the change you wish to see in the world. All right, y'all. Without further ado, here's today's episode. Enjoy. Peace. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast. I'm back with yet another episode, and I got a special guest with me. He is a fellow podcaster. He runs the Off The Stoop podcast. He is also an aspiring comedian. Full disclosure, I just met this dude, like a week ago, right, Wally?
About like last Thursday.
Yeah. We ran into each other at Buffalo Wild Wings. He was with some folks. I was with my homie. And they knew each other, and we just started rapping and shit, man. Found out he hosts his own podcast. I was like, I host my own podcast, and here we are, man. We over here shooting some shit, bro. And man, we got to get to know each other a little bit before we started recording here, man. It's been a pleasure so far, man. And I'm grateful for you to come on this podcast, man, and share some time with us, bro. Right on.
Hell yeah, Chris. I appreciate you having me on, bro. Yeah, it was one of those Filipino connection things, right? Like as soon as I seen you across the room, it's like at an airport, you see a Filipino, it's like, oh shit, you one of us. It just so happens that we're in Daly City and there's a fucking million of us over here. But it was been cool to meet you, man. And yeah, we was definitely chopping it up beforehand. We probably should have been recording that entire time, but
right.
maybe in maybe in the future we'll get it done.
Oh yeah, off top, man. And you know, I think, man, that ain't even gonna be nothing to worry about with a person like yourself and a person like me that could just really come off the top of the brain with some shit, bro. Because you know, something similar, I'm pretty damn sure you could relate to this, bro, especially because you're a fellow podcaster. Something that I've always found fascinating was like effective communication, which is kind of something that wanted me or just kind of pushed me towards podcasting, man. And you know, we were talking off camera again too. A lot of people are not even having dialogue about shit no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing or the other, just one end of the spectrum or the other. And without that dialogue, bro, there ain't that real like bridge to be able to connect no more, man. And you know what, man, I'm glad that you got a podcast, bro, where you could talk about, you know, current events, whatever's, you know, percolating on your mind and shit like that. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing it, man. Why don't you, can you tell us a little bit about like what you envisioned for your podcast, like when you first started, you know, making it, bro, like when you created it in the first place?
Yeah, so when I first made the Off the Stoop podcast, I actually had another podcast called the Double Triple Podcast. Shout out my team from that. But yeah, I wanted to go off more than sports. Of course, I love sports. That was like one of the main reasons I started podcasting, but I have like very differentiating interests. Like, you know, I'm not the biggest political pundit like we were talking about earlier, but I do like talking a little about politics. I like art, music, and just like general culture and pop culture and what's happening in my community and in society in general. And you know, I just wanted a platform to put my ideas out there while also kind of highlighting the Filipino American culture. You know, like we were talking about off screen. I wanted to almost be the Filipino Joe Rogan of this shit. You know, bring on activists, comedians, people from all different types of fields,
Mm-hmm.
especially being Filipino, and just bring them into my world, learn from them. And it isn't so much my podcast that I want that I let me see, how can I say this? That I wanted it to be all about me. I just wanted to bring people in who were smarter than me, because in turn, shit, I learned a little bit something too, and maybe my listeners will learn a little bit something as well. You know, of course, I'm gonna come and fuck around and especially like make jokes and things like that. But I'm trying to learn out here. Like, you know, I'm college educated, which isn't like the biggest deal to me. But what have I been doing like post college is like reading, writing, and doing things like that. But it was pretty limiting. But if you talk to somebody and you know you have these conversations, difficult conversations, easy conversations, you come out learning something. And to your point, like people are stuck in a vacuum. You know, Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media they're on, whatever your belief is, it's going to be solidified by your feed. And, you know, we're always on our phones and shit. So your belief just gets even stronger. It becomes a, it becomes a diamond. And, you know, that's probably like a terrible analogy, but like, that's the best way I could put it. Like, it's just going to ingrain in your head and you're not going to be able to listen to anybody else, or you're not even going to want to listen to a different side of things.
Yeah, no, I hear you loud and clear, bro. And it's a shame that it's kind of come to that, man. And we are living in a different type of environment, a different type of world, especially, you know, we talked that we're both from the city, man. And with everything going on politically and obviously with the pandemic and COVID-19, things have just changed drastically. Obviously, we're a lot further along than we were, you know, last year, this time last year,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with the doors opening up and everything like that. But so much damage has been done. And you know, I'm an optimist, so I will say that like it's not irreparable damage. I like to believe that, you know, things are going to get better, especially as people continue to, you know, learn, develop themselves, like you just said you wanted to do, that you are currently doing. You know, as am I. I'm a student of life, bro, and you know, I'm just trying to stay open and attuned to like, you know, all the different knowledge and the wisdom and the energy that the world has to offer, for damn sure, man. And I think that, you know, as crazy as shit may seem sometimes, especially because of the phones and like, you know, everybody having like a platform to kind of like throw out their opinion and, and then the news 24/7, just fear mongering, all these different elements that make this crazy ass environment that we're living in. Even with that, I still feel like there's hope, especially because of a platform like a podcast. There's people that are connecting all different walks of life. You were telling me prior to us hopping on here and recording that you've been on far right wing podcasts where, people don't see eye to eye with you. But like, I love that. You know why? It's because you're still having that dialogue. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, bro, have been pushed so far left or so far right. Like you said earlier, there's not a lot of people willing to meet in the middle anymore. And partial reason why, like, I wanted to start a podcast too, bro, was to be able to, you know, first of all, spread good energy in a world that so desperately needs more and more
Mm-hmm.
of that. You know what I'm saying? And second of all, really is to just kind of like be able to welcome anybody on, bro. I feel like what you were saying earlier is we can learn something from everybody.
Yeah.
And now, since we've been pushed on so far on each side, bro, it's hard to have that conversation because once you get that label on you, oh man, it's like a stink that you can't wash off. You know what I'm saying? For certain people. And man, it's crazy. The divide is we're supposed to be the United States of America, right?
Mm-hmm.
We ain't been united in a long it hasn't felt that way. And man, one of the main missions and the goals of this thing is just like try to glue people back together because bro, we gotta stay united, bro. We people, there's like we forget, bro. We're all from the same. Come on, it's one love out here, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? That's how I see things, man. And somebody may be listening to me talk and be like, man, this guy's just on some like optimistic woo-woo type shit. Nah, bro. I believe in that shit, bro. I believe that we supposed to be like, we might not always see eye to eye, but at the same time, bro, if there's that mutual respect and we ain't, hurting one another, we could all coexist peacefully, bro. And you know what I'm saying? There's plenty for everybody to live up over here, bro. And it's I don't know what's gonna happen, bro, but I feel like we good people. There are a lot of good people out there, bro. And if they continue to do the work, we continue to do the work. A lot of progress will be made. We were talking offline too, bro, about um, you know, working within the Filipino community, bro. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I respect hella about you, bro.
Thank you.
That,
Thank you.
the Off the Stoop podcast where you brought what's her name that you brought on?
Marissa Carpio.
Mm-hmm.
Carpio. Sorry if I butchered your name, Marissa. But yeah, man. I really, like I said, I wanted to become the Filipino Joe Rogan because we don't have a big voice out there. We have like one big voice in every industry. We got Joe Coy, we had like Rob Schneider, we have Rob Bonta, newly elected Rob Bonta. We got Batista, who's like we either have
Pacquiao.
mestizos or nobody's fully Filipino. And no knock, that doesn't make you any less Filipino, but they don't look like me. They don't look like you. Like they don't look like your stereotypical. Like I got a big ass nose. Like I got nice lips. Um, I got brown ass skin. Like I'm short. Like my hair is wavy, like Hispanic wavy. And I just wanted to be like that. I wanted to be the guy. I wanted to be that guy who looks like almost indigenous Filipino. Like I came from the conqueror's blood, but I am Filipino as fuck. So I and I wasn't always like this. I was always like a proud Filipino, but I wasn't always like, yeah, yeah. I'm still not like, yeah, yeah, Filipino this, Filipino that, but I am proud of my community. And I definitely want to be a highlight and a marker for, what's to come. And because I feel like we're growing, there's a lot of shit happening. I mean, I don't want to bring up half Filipinos again, no offense, but like Jordan Clarkson just won.
Yeah.
He just won Six Man of the Year, and he's big, big, big on showing his heritage. We had that girl who just won the WPGA tour. We got Pilo, who's about to hit up fucking day and night in Vegas, and who's killing it in the music industry. And I just want to be, kind of in that forefront of comedy. Like there are a lot of great comedians out there, a lot of great Filipino comedians, but I feel like I can be that next one. I could go on that next level, especially with my experiences. A lot of fuck. I feel like I'm knocking them, but I'm really not. It's like it's much respect. I'll just say this: with my experience and the shit that I've been through and the shit that I've done, I feel like that story is fucking hilarious, and I can turn it and show somebody like, hey, you know, I don't like I don't want to bring out a TI quote out of ATL, but I just want to tell him like you ain't got to be a dope boy to get money, you know?
Hey,
You could do it the legit way. And you know,
hey,
I'm early in my career in podcasting and in comedy, but you know, I'm already reaping the benefits of that. I'm not making thousands and millions of dollars yet, but you know, it's coming and like the blessings are coming and I'm going to keep working at this shit. And I'm going to keep fucking repping the red, white, and blue
hey,
and the
let's get
star.
it. Let's get it. Hey, that's what's up, man. And I can hear the conviction in your voice, bro, and everything that you just spoke out right now. You're speaking into existence, bro. And as long as you keep doing what we were talking again off camera, bro, like when you choose or when you make a decision on what it is that you want to do in life, bro, the universe conspires for you, bro. And that's what's
Crazy.
happening. You were telling me, and I want to ask you some stuff about comedy because I'm so like curious about this because comedy is something that I've always loved, bro. We're gonna
Yeah.
rap about this for damn sure. But you know, you were telling me that wait, hold on, how long you been doing comedy? Like, or when did you first start?
Like 2 months.
That's 2 months into it, huh?
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
up. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
bro.
So yeah, my bad. I want let
No,
me
no,
get
go,
this
go,
out there
go,
real
go,
quick. I
go.
want because you were telling me, bro, that like so you're literally fresh in the game, bro. I think you mentioned to me you've been on
Fresh.
stage like 3 times. Um,
Well, I've been on that particular. I've been at Alameda Comedy Club. Shout out Alameda Comedy Club. I've been up there 3 times, but I've been in like various open mics in the city, just kind of getting my name out
oh,
there, getting my rep up. So I'm putting in my 10,000 hours, bro.
once you make that decision of like what it is that you want to do and you pursue it with a full passion, things like resources, people, all
Yeah.
sorts of different things start to connect and just fall into place for you, bro. Especially as you continue to trust yourself and just like let it develop. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Yeah. Go. Oh, are
no,
you done?
that just seems to be what's happening for you, bro.
Nah, you know, it honestly took years of this. So, you know, I'm like you, I'm a big comedy fan. And as Filipinos, we're just like naturally funny. You know, that's what broke people are. Broke people are funny. That's the only thing we can afford. We can only afford to be funny, right? So yeah, man. So it took year. I did stand up when I was 18. I did one show at Cobb's Comedy Club at an open mic. I bombed that shit and I was so down on it. I told myself, fuck that. I don't need this. I play college ball. Like I'm at college, you know, all this shit. Cause I'm 18, 19. I got a big ego. Um, and then throughout the years, when I was about 24, 25, you know, I was a chef. So I started, yeah, around 24, 25. I really tried, like, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was craving to be like creative. I was craving my creative soul, right? So I was a chef for like 3 years. And then I was a photographer at the same time. And then I was doing graphic design. But then I failed to realize, like, yo, you went to school for writing and like you like to talk shit and you love comedy. And like, it's not like, I mean, you did it years ago. And it kind of like starting the podcast at 28, 29, just like whatever age, it kind of just culminated an avalanche to like, oh fuck, this is what I should have been doing the entire time. Like, I'm not the best at it right now, but like this is what I love. Like this is not saying that I wasn't good at those other things, but this is what I'm passionate about. Like I could see myself immersing my entire being into this, like into this entertainment shit, into this podcasting, into comedy, and loving it, dude. Like I've bombed like a shitload of times. And you know, while it is a little discouraging, it is one of those things where it's part of the game. You just got to take your licks where they go. And I'm just enjoying the shit out of it, honestly. Like I had a good set last night, which is pretty cool. But then prior to that, I'll have okay. So for me, for every one good set you have, I'm gonna bomb the next 5. That's my marker. And it's not to like psych myself out or anything. It's just like it's just where I'm at right now at my stage.
Mhm. Hey man, you know what? We all got to start somewhere, bro. And you know, in order to kind of get yourself to that status, you got to put the reps in, just like anything, bro. And
Mhm.
look, I'm gonna tell you, bro. It, I commend you and I respect you hella much just for even getting out there into that arena, getting out there on that stage, because that's something I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna share something with you, bro. Like
Mm.
I told you, I love comedy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not bullshitting because I actually had ambitions. I still do. And it's not to say that I'll never get on there at some point in my life, but I never fucking got the galls to get up on stage, bro, to
You
be
got
dead
to,
at.
bro.
I know, bro. And I can imagine that rush you get when you're out there on stage. And I don't think a lot of people realize just how hard being a comedian is. Bro, it's literally you, the microphone, versus hella people in a fucking room where they're just there to fucking you're there to make them laugh, bro.
Yeah.
You don't know them, they don't know you, bro. And it's got to be like one of the most nerve-wracking feelings, but at the same time, I imagine it's got to be the most enlivening feeling at the same time.
Bro, okay. I've never done crack in my life and I will never, but being up on stage is fucking crack. Like no, that it is pure euphoria. And the cool part about it is I think the most I've done in a room so far is Alameda Comedy is like 35, 40 people, which is fucking dope. It was my first time up. And that thing, I was just like, wow. It was like sick. It was so dope that they gave me an extra minute to like finish my set. And I was like, what the fuck? Like they even told me, like, yo, you did pretty good tonight, kid. Like, keep going at it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And I honestly rode that high for like 4 days. Like like I was watching my video and I was like, okay, this was pretty good. This was pretty good. Because I buy my film, I buy it like game film. I honestly treat this shit like a sport, bro. Like I buy my film and I see, oh, how was my delivery? Like, what can I do to get better? Like, what did this joke work here? Like, when can I weave shit out? So, but that first time I didn't do shit. I just looked at it, I was like, God damn, the last I was like, oh my God. I was just getting off on myself so hard. I was like, oh my God, you're the shit. Lo and behold, next time, no preparation or nothing. I thought I was Chappelle after like the first set. I was like, oh my God, I got this in the bag. And then I got a harsh taste of reality. But I still loved it regardless. It was so fucking fun. Bro, you got to get on stage. You're in this podcast game now, bro. You got to get up one time, couple times, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy the shit out of it.
Yeah, no, bro. Something about comedy that's always been appealing to me is, I mean, they say laughter is the best medicine, bro. What better way than to spread positive energy than by making motherfuckers laugh, bro? Saying some funny ass shit, bro. When you're laughing so hard, you slapping your fucking knee, your stomach hurts, your face hurts from fucking smiling shit. I want to do that too, bro. That was always something that I wanted to do. And I love making people laugh, bro. I'll be real, bro. As I've kind of gotten older, I kind of lost it, but I still like cracking jokes and fucking around and shit. But I don't know. I did not mention this to you prior to us getting on air, but I lived in LA for like 6-7 years, bro.
Oh, shit.
And I went out there on a whim just to really try to kind of challenge myself and put myself into a different environment. Obviously, it's not that far away, but it's still a major city. I didn't know many people out there, and
yeah,
I had opportunities to get on stage, but for whatever reason, I just didn't make it happen. Like I said, I feel like at some point I'm still going to do it. It's kind of one of those bucket list things for me that I'm going to get done. But I just respect comedy and comedians so much because like I can't think of any other activities that are more vulnerable, bro, where you're literally just out there on stage. And when you watch some of the greats, bro, like a Chappelle. For me personally, one of my favorite comedians was Martin Lawrence, and you watch somebody like George Carlin. You know what I'm saying? You watch people like Cedric the Entertainer. Like Cedric the Entertainer, bro, you don't even see him sweat, bro, because he's so like in his element. Dave Chappelle, he's so in his element, bro. He's shooting from the hip. Like a lot of his shit, he's like, you know what I'm saying? He's refined his. Obviously, he's been in the game for fucking ever, right?
For like 30 years. I think he started comedy when he was 14. His first set ever was 14 years old, bro. And yeah, man, I mean, comedy is one of those things where it's not basketball. Like you can come in at any time and start killing it. I think Steve Harvey was like 36 or 38, somewhere around that, when he decided like, yo, I'm not going to work at, I think he was working at Sears or some shit. He was working something at the time. And he was like, fuck this. I'm going to be a comedian. Like, I'm going to do stand up. Maybe it was a Steve Harvey or a Bernie Mac. One of those two. I'm sorry which one, I can't remember, but yeah, man, like, dude, whenever you get up is when you get up. That's when you're a comedian. I think like the one thing though that I will tell people if they ever wanted to start comedy, like, yo, comedians are fucking assholes. And I mean, and I'm no different, bro. Like, I'm a fucking dickhead. I can be very fucking mean if I wanted to and say some shit. But like I've gone to therapy, so I've kind of like mellowed out a little bit. But I kind of hate, but I also kind of hate therapy at the same time because I'm not as brash as I used to be. So I might stop that shit for a while. So
It
because
took
I
the
need
edge
like,
off a little bit.
oh, I need that intensity back. Like I'm like, it's weird because I gotta find that intensity again, like that fucking darkness in my soul a little bit.
Yeah, nah, bro. That's you know what, man? Comedians, bro. And I've been around. I have some friends that were aspiring comedians and actors and actresses and everything like that. When you're living in LA, it's almost inevitable that you're going to run into people with high ambitions and, big dreams. That's the land of opportunity right there. So, a lot of my friends were, like I mentioned, aspiring at whatever at their craft. And man, it's trust me, I understand, bro. The type of mentality you got to have to get out there, bro. It's almost like balls to the wall type shit, bro. And it's you versus a fucking room, bro. And you got to make them
Yeah.
fucking laugh, bro. You're gonna have nights where there's like tough ass crowds, bro. And it's funny, bro. I was listening to this podcast. I forget dude's name, but he was talking. His whole concept was skipping the line. A lot of people like to tell you, and I'm pretty sure they tell you at the comedy club, "Oh, kid, you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues." And something this dude was saying, because his whole thing was like, "Do I really got to fucking wait in line and pay my dues, or is there a faster way to get to my end destination, without having to fucking wait in line and shit like that?" And his thing was, bro, you can basically pick a stage anywhere. You can go out to downtown right now, get yourself a little loud megaphone, and just start talking shit, and put yourself in that situation. And those will be reps for you. What this dude used to do, he was living in New York. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna text it to you because you might be interested. It's pretty dope. It's a pretty dope episode because he did give a lot of detail into just getting yourself into that flow all the time. That way, when you're on stage, you just kill it. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
just natural. It's not even a flow anymore. It's just like you're always on.
exactly, bro. So what he used to do, he would get on to like, you know, underground fucking, on the fucking on like the streetcars out in New York and shit, bro. In the underground, just literally be on the trains talking shit, bro. Like he'll be like doing stand-up comedies. People will get on, get off. Some people would laugh. Some people would, he'd be bombing. But the key was for him, he was putting himself in this like uncomfortable position all the time, which in turn did so much for him. So when he got on stage, he was sharper. He was not even like affected by what other people were going to say about them. Because I think for me, one of the biggest things why I never got on stage was because I was like, damn, what if I do bomb? Or fucking, what if people say this about me? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That fear kind of paralyzed me. I'm at a different space in my life right now. I feel like if that's something that I set my intention on doing, I could definitely do that shit. And I will if that's like something I choose to do. But I'm looking back at that time in my life, and what hindered me from doing that was that paralyzing type of fear of like, oh, what if this, what if that? But if
Yeah.
you just constantly put yourself in that stressful environment, right, it becomes like normal to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I kind of think what he was like getting at with that whole thing, bro.
That's actually a really great premise and a great approach to it. Like, I'm the complete opposite. I literally tell myself on the way to wherever I'm performing at, I'm like, yo, you're gonna suck. You're gonna fucking suck today. And then it's one of the mind games where I'm trying to prove myself wrong. It's one of those where, every day we talk about like, yo, I'm gonna get better 1% every day. But this is my mind trick to tell myself, hey, you better do good today or you're going to prove yourself right by bombing, by sucking. And sucking doesn't mean that you're going to bomb or anything because, like you said, you got to, a room could be tough, but you also got to be able to read a room. I think that's one of the things that they don't tell you when you start off comedy. It's not always about just doing the jokes or like riffing or like, crowd work. You got to read what kind of room that you're in. And that's always fucking hard, especially when you're starting off, because, you could be in a like a black room, you could be in a white room, and you got to really differentiate like what jokes you have in store for each, because your jokes are not going to land with every type of person. If you're a person who says, yo, my jokes are for everybody, everybody's going to laugh. Like, no, you're not Joe Coy, you're not Dave Chappelle. Like, you're not all worldly like those type of dudes. They don't know you. So they're going to base their laughter and their thought process on comedy on what they think, not what they think that you are, because they have no idea who or what you are or what you believe in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what, bro? As you were speaking, I got to thinking about, where comedy is nowadays, man. And a lot of the stand-up comedies I've been seeing recently, especially from Chappelle, he's really been harping on, the political correctness of everything, bro. So like the space has been tougher, I can imagine, bro. Like in terms of like judgments passed if you say something that's like a hot button and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And it's I feel I've always felt this, bro. There is like an extremely important role for comedians in our society because
Mm-hmm.
they say the shit that so many of us, if not all of us, are fucking thinking, but
Yeah.
they just don't fucking say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. No, they
there's
got the
importance in it,
balls. Yeah,
right?
they got the fucking balls to say it, bro. Chris Rock got backlash like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks ago about canceling cancel culture. And because it's making comedy like boring and unfunny, which is fucking true, bro. I think he said it on Saturday Night Live when he hosted. And it's true, man. Like, why are you censoring the people who have the pulse on like on the world? They know exactly what's going on. I mean, not every comedian does their comedy that way where they talk about like culture and like what's happening, what's going on. But the ones that do, they actually do their fucking work. They do their homework. They do their studying. They know what the fuck they're talking about. So like you know, guys like we keep bringing up Chappelle, like Chris Rock or Joe Coy, like they need autonomy to be able to say what they want and what they need to say, because it's very fucking informative at the end of the day, because they'll leave you thinking about, oh shit, like maybe they are right. Not, and I'm not just saying this because I love these guys and like these guys are like my comedic heroes, but it just makes sense to like give them autonomy to be able to say whatever, and then maybe you can assess it later on, but you can't take it at face value.
Bro, the cancel culture, you know what, man? The cancel culture be taking it too far sometimes. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh
man.
shit.
And I mean, come on, they'll dig up shit from years ago. And you remember that shit that happened to Kevin Hart, bro? And look at who Kevin Hart is now, man. The evolved Kevin Hart that stands before all of us today is just an amazing dude, bro. He's amazing at comedy, first of all. You know, I've kind of I'll be real, I'm kind of tired of his shit, but he's still capable of making me laugh anytime I see a little
Yeah.
clip of him.
Yeah.
He's a funny little bastard. But obviously, bro, like, we've all come a long way, bro. That's just evolution, that's progress. And I think that it's unfair when the cancel culture tries to pick something, especially like prying all the way deep into the fucking past, bro, and bring out old skeletons for people and decide, you know what, we're gonna fuck this person's career up. That's just fucked up to me, bro. And I I I honestly, like, looking back, it's like, how the fuck did this shit all develop, bro? And it's just like, but you know what, at the same time, I try not to let that shit bother me too much, bro, because you can't control everybody, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
That's something that's just facts, bro. And you were referring to it earlier, bro. If your goal is to basically try to please everybody, or if you think your comedy is for everybody, you already failed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you're gonna, like, even as great as Chappelle is, as great as everybody we mentioned, bro, they have haters too, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So if,
Exactly.
just like in anything, even I'm aware of this in podcasting too. My style, the shit that I talk about may not be for everybody, and I'm okay with that, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Because once you're okay
Mm-hmm.
with that shit, bro, and you don't make it the goal to please everybody, you can focus on like the shit that's working for you, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? And you know what, bro? Like, I think it's like a natural human tendency to want to please everybody, especially for us in Filipino culture, bro.
Yeah.
We're very, that's something I've always like kind of like grew up around, you know what I'm talking about? But then once you kind of like get past that shit, at least for me, bro, there's a certain sense of freedom, a certain level of just genuine self-respect that you get, bro. And it's a feeling. that's just like it's really indescribable, bro. And you seem to be in that space right now, bro, in terms of stepping into who you fucking are, bro, and embracing that wholeheartedly, bro. Am I accurate in saying something like that?
Yeah, no, you probably hit the nail on the head, bro. Like, some forces and some circumstances have forced me to like really hone in and challenge who I was and how I grew up and who I'm becoming. And I guess this goes with doing therapy as well. It's like really forced me to like take a look at everything past and present and future, and really like take pieces and bits and like, yo, because not everything I am and not everything I am is serving me. And not to get like all philosophical or fucking like emotional or mental, whatever, but like there are things that don't serve me at 30 that did at 21, 22. But like I had to realize that, it took me, this like last year to really realize like, oh shit, like I don't have to be this way in this situation no more. I could still be that Wally, but I have to know when to categorize it and when to do it. So it's like it's really picking and choosing your battles at the end of the day. And really, dude, like you really just got to do you at the end of the day. As Filipinos, we're big on respecting our family, we're respecting our parents and respecting our culture and trying to do them proud. There's a reason, for everybody listening in America, and everybody, I mean, everybody's a fucking immigrant in America. There's a reason that they brought you here. It's not so you can live under them and what they want for you, so you could do what you want, and at the end of the day, like, what is your success is defined by what you think it is. And that sounds like very cliche, but it goes to what you were saying. Like, I'm really starting to own in and hone in on myself because I'm starting to define what's my own success is for me, and starting to hone in on like the shit that I want to do. Because like for a latter and a greater part of my life, I had been, helping my family, trying to like, not people please, but like, trying to keep shit in and trying to chill. But now it's like, dude, 30s, like a turning mark. We had this pandemic come out. Like I had a year to like really be inside and think to myself and really like think what I want to do with the rest of my life. And it definitely wasn't like pencil pushing at a fucking office or doing whatever. It's doing this comedy shit, doing this podcast, growing and like being like a figure in the community and really embracing like who I am and like my heritage and shit. So I'm really enjoying who I'm becoming. Like I said, I might stop doing therapy because I need a dark side again, but that's like really that's really a story for another time, because I on some real shit, I need to get dark for a little bit.
Hey, bro, hey, nobody knows yourself more than you, bro, or nobody should know you more than you should know yourself, bro. And the fact that you're aware of that, bro, and you know, this is something that seems to me that you are looking to pursue full time, because we were talking again earlier, like it makes you feel alive. You you basically said,
Yeah.
I never did crack, but that's fucking crack right there, bro. And I can imagine like you saying that just tells, like, you can already feel like, just like, the blood, like the your heart pumping, the rush, the adrenaline, all that shit, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Because man, it's a scary thing, bro. That's why I've always had like the utmost respect for anybody that's willing to get up there and talk about anything, bro. Whether you're a comedian or if you're just going up to, public speaking is a very scary thing to do, especially if you're not well versed in it, especially if you're not like fucking, you know, even if you take classes in college or in high school, whatever the fucking case may be, bro. Like it's there's something mental there, bro, for myself included, bro, and a lot of other people that kind of hinders us from doing that shit, bro. And like I mentioned, I'm at a different space in my life right now, so I feel like at some point, especially as part of the natural progression of this podcast, I'm eventually going to have to get to conferences and speak in front of a lot of
Yeah.
people. So I got to get out of my own fucking way, bro. And to be honest with you, bro, that respect factor I have for you, other comedians, people that are just getting into that arena and doing that, man, is just like that simple fact that you're doing that shit, bro, is crazy, bro. And
Thank
it's
you.
dope, man. And I'm rooting for you, bro. And I want to come out to your next show. You got
Hell
one
yeah.
lined up, bro? When's your shit popping next?
Well, I might be at 7th. I'll probably be at 7th West in Oakland on Wednesdays. So that show goes every other Wednesday. It's a cool open mic. Definitely, whoever's listening, definitely come out there. It's a second and fourth Wednesdays. They got a cool ass outdoor vibe. Really great Filipino food, like a fusion Filipino or like a modern take on Filipino food, which is dope. Pancho, the bar owner, is a dope guy. Like cool ass folks. Like you got really good comics coming out the Bay. And
Hey,
yeah, man, like you, bro, you really you if you're gonna grow in this podcast game, which I know you probably are, you gotta get comfy with public speaking. And nothing in school can prepare you for 50 pairs of eyes just fucking staring you down, waiting to see what you're gonna say, whether it's comedy or like, you know, a conference or whatever. Like you were saying, you just gotta do it and just like immerse yourself, like that dude you were talking about. Just put yourself in the snide, get yourself in that state of uncomfortability where until it just becomes an everyday notion.
facts, bro. And I'm curious, man, how do you do that? How do you get into that space? How do you just take that plunge? Like for you, what's you touched on it a little bit, bro, in terms of like your process, but how do you get yourself like to just fucking do something like that, bro?
um Preparation,
Mm,
honestly, like preparation. Comedy, you know, of course there are talented people who just go up there and then they'll just riff a little bit, but those are like, you know, savvy vets. I mean, like I said earlier, I've only been in this game for 2 years, 2 months. And you know, I write, I rehearse my stuff, I time out how much time one joke takes in transition to another. So I'm really like putting in my time. It's not just like me writing or just me going up and saying some shit. Like you really got to practice,
mm-hmm.
like anything. Like if you want to shoot like Steph Curry, you got to bomb it from half court. Like it's not gonna happen unless you do something about it. And for me,
Mm-hmm.
I get nervous. I get fucking nervous, but that lets me know that it's something that I want to do. Because if it wasn't, then I'd just be chilling, like, oh yeah, you know, whatever, it's whatever. But I really like love this shit, and I want to give it I want to give the game the respect that it's due by
Mm-hmm.
not disrespecting it, by fucking just going up there and giving a shit performance every
Yeah,
single time, you know?
not half-assing it, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Your
exactly.
preparation behind the scenes is really what sets you up, right?
Yeah,
Like gives you that confidence, or not even
exactly.
confidence, just that fucking,
It
that
gives you assurance to know, like, hey, even though, you know, like I said, like if you bomb, at least you prepared.
mm-hmm.
Like we were talking about earlier, not every room is going to be the same. Not one joke is in one room won't hit like it will in the other. But as long as you prepared and you're like, okay, like I know this is a solid joke, I just got to see where and when it'll hit. Like you're fine, or at least in my opinion, I'm doing fine in that regard, because I'm doing the work beforehand before I get up, and it's only 5 minutes. Like I'm doing all this for 5 minutes. Like I mean, imagine when I have to start doing it for 10, 15, 20, 30, an hour. I'm ready to put in that work. But by that time, I'll have developed those skills most likely to tell, like, where I don't always have to prepare, where I'll have those notes, but I'll still prepare in that way that, you know, that I am right now at 5 minutes.
Yeah, man, we got to get you a little Netflix special, bro. You know what I'm saying? You get on stage for an hour, bro. That's the goals right there. You feel
Woo.
me? Hey, you on your
Hell
way, my
yeah.
dude. You on your way, because I can already sense it, bro. The conviction that you speak with. Like honestly, the reason why I asked is, and we touched on it earlier, bro. Um, Anything you do requires repetition. If you want to get better at some, it requires repetition. It requires you to put you in
Mm-hmm.
these challenging situations. Otherwise, because that's where all the growth is at, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And you clearly just laid it all out in terms of your process and everything like that. And I can sense with your conviction, your grit, your grind, your mentality, bro, your heart. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take you to where you want to go. Just stay
Right
patient,
on, bro.
continue to keep pushing yourself, my dude. And when you get that Netflix special, man, don't forget about all that.
Nah, never, never. I take my people with me, man. Like
That's what's up.
on some real shit. I've been trying to build a team to do this shit, you know. And I think it's just because I'm so early in the game, nobody's really like taking me too seriously. But like I've been trying to build a team out to really like grow this shit. And it's not one of those things where, oh yeah, I'm gonna build out a team and y'all do all the back end shit and then I'm the only one who gets paid. But like, yo, like if I start eating, we're all gonna eat. Like if I get paid $75 and I got like 3 people with me, like, yo, we're gonna split that $75, man. But you know, not everybody is willing to be on the grind with you. They just kind of want to see you when you're at the top, which is not, it's just fine. And I'm not saying, and that's not a knock on anybody at all. Like, you know, I love all my people that are with me. Like, it's crazy because hold on, I'll save it. I'll save that for after. But yeah, man, like I'm just really ready in the grind, and you know, I'm appreciative of the people who are supporting me, and I'll go into it now. Like people, it's crazy because, you know, I was doing photography and like graphic design and all this shit. Like people were like, oh yeah, it's cool. It's whatever. You know, you got the podcast. But now that they see I'm doing comedy, like, oh yeah, dude, I want to go out to your shows. Like, come on, like, let me know when. And it's a fucking dope film. And I appreciate all those fucking people. I appreciate everybody who says they want to come out and support, because it's fucking dope, man. And I think it's because they see that, like, not only do they probably think I'm funny, it's they see that like you know, that I'm taking this seriously, whereas I kind of took my other endeavors a little less, where I was like laissez-faire with it, but they see that, oh shit, like he actually wants to do this now, and it's pretty tight.
That's dope, bro. And sometimes it takes those experiences that you mentioned, you know, being a chef for 3 years, doing photography, all these other different things to eventually get to where you know what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You go, you know, I mean, some people figure shit out earlier, but something I've also realized, bro, is that, you know, just like Nip says, bro, you see Nip in the background, bro, the marathon continues, bro, but at the same time, it's not a race against anybody else. You running your own race. And I think a lot of times for myself, I was comparing myself to others, especially with this fucking Instagram shit and Facebook earlier in the days, bro. You see motherfuckers that you came up with and shit. You're like, damn, this motherfucker doing this, like, and I'm only over here. And you know, a quote that I say to myself all the time, that I forget who exactly came up with this quote, but it makes so much sense. The quote is, comparison is the thief of joy. And it's so fucking true, my dude. If you think about it, bro, if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, you're never going to be fucking happy, because there's always going to be somebody that's at least one level up above you. No matter how good you get, there's always going to be somebody else. But that shouldn't deter you from like trying to elevate yourself to your best, to be your best self.
Yeah.
Right. Well, but at the same time, oh yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry, go.
No, I was just gonna say, at the same time, bro, it's like, you know, you once you recognize that, bro, you give yourself that fucking power back. You know what I'm saying? You empower yourself. You recognize it ain't about what everybody else is doing. It's you versus you. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if you want to get better at some shit, it's you versus you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, you don't know, like, you may have grown up with these people, you may have went to high school and then all of a sudden you saw them go to like community college or do whatever, but you don't know what that person did or went through to get to that position. Like, it's some crazy shit. Like, I don't want to bring it up, but it could be some like Harvey Weinstein shit going on and you don't fucking know, bro. Like, you know, and that might be a little bit of a sensitive subject, but you don't know what somebody went through to get to that level. And on top of that, just because they are at that level doesn't mean they're not fucking miserable, bro. Anthony Bourdain fucking killed himself.
R.I.P.
Like, rest in peace to that man. I love Anthony Bourdain.
Same, bro.
Fucking hero. But that man fucking killed himself.
I know, and he looked like he was living the best life.
He had the greatest job in the fucking world. He ate food all over the world, kicked it with dope people, and they recorded him. And he was so dope. People on YouTube try to emulate and do a terrible job of it because they don't have his personality, his charisma, his intelligence. They don't have the Anthony Bourdain. And this man fucking committed suicide in Paris, bro, in his room in Paris. And there's a guy, and I don't want to knock normal jobs, there is a guy working on the field, shout out farm workers, for $2 an hour who's pumping every fucking day. and is happy as a fucking clam because they made it in America and they're like out in the fields making a little bit of dough. So you
Mhm.
don't know what everybody's going through, which is like a very old message, but like a little nuanced. But it's like, it's true, man. Like that's the truest shit you could ever tell. You don't know what somebody's going through. Cause bro, like the last couple months I've been through, it's a couple months fucking sucked for me, but it's also forced me to get into comedy, to make sure to raise my podcast game and get into a space and like get a studio and really like evaluate what I want and what I want out of comedy, what I want out of myself. So it's, yeah, man, like you can't take like you were saying, you can't take people at face value. You can't compare yourself to others. You just got to know that like your journey is your journey. And
Mm.
I think one thing that I'm definitely guilty of, two things I'm guilty of, is timetabling my success and where I should be, and being my worst fucking critic. Those two things are like inherent with me. Like I am terrible. Like I've accomplished some things. I've like made money, or that's not my biggest deal. And I've made some moves here and there, but like no matter what I do, no matter what, like how good I get or how great or whatever, I'm always fucking hard on myself. Always. No matter where I am at in where no matter where I'm at in life, I'm always my harshest critic, no matter what. Like
Yeah.
it, like I said, if I have a good set, I'll write it down and be like, yo, you could have done better. And I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know where that mentality comes from. I'm sure it derives from like playing sports and, like some childhood shit. But like, I am definitely my harshest critic 24/7, bro. I'll wake up and be like, damn, you're not up yet. And it's like 6:30. I'm like, you're not up out of bed doing yoga yet. And I get conscious of that. And I'm like, fuck, it kind of fucks up my day. But like, as soon as I'm up, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Man, bro, that's you know what, man? A lot of people are very much relate. It's so relatable. What you just laid out right there, bro. Because I mean, first of all, before I even continue on this tangent, I want to just say that you're absolutely fucking right. You just never know what somebody's going through, bro. Like, which is one of the biggest reasons why I no longer I do my very best not to pass judgment anymore, bro, because everybody's
Same.
journey is their own and everybody's struggle is their own as well, right? And you know what, bro? You seem to be in a much better space where you're continuously ascending and elevating yourself to higher lengths and shit like that. And a lot of things seem to be clicking for you, which is dope. But that doesn't, go to say that like it wasn't easy to get to where you were at, right, bro?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like in hindsight, when we're able to look back at things, man, a lot of the things that we felt were, at least for me, I'm speaking for myself, a lot of the things that I was like, damn, why the fuck did this happen in my life? Or what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. I was always pointing the blame at other things for my deficiencies, for my shortcomings. And when I recognized, like, you know what, man, I at least for me, I got to a certain point where I'm just like, you know what, this got to stop, bro. This vicious cycle where I'm beating myself up, and like I was saying, I
Mm-hmm.
was comparing myself to other people. And you posted something on Instagram, I think it was yesterday, where it was just like where Filipino parents are like, you should be like your
Oh,
friend, you should be like your cousin, you should be
yeah, yeah.
like
See?
never be like yourself. So and I do not want to, you know shame our Filipino culture, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, there's a lot of beautiful things about our culture, but there's a lot of this
It,
word gets
it,
tossed around a lot. There's a lot of toxic stuff in that motherfucker too, though.
yeah,
You know what
it's a
I'm talking
lot of
about?
cheese, mate, bro. And I'll call that shit out, bro. That Filipinos are fucking toxic, bro. Like it's some toxic ass shit. And it's up to like, I don't got kids or anything. I'm single, what up? But I'm really like, I'm about breaking generational curses at this
Mm,
point. I want to be successful and do whatever, but like when I have kids, when they have kids, I don't want them 30 years from now going to therapy and blaming me for their fault for shit that happened to them. And I'm gonna be very fucking candid right now. Yo, that is a lot of shit that, not only myself, but a lot of other Filipinos and, a lot of other millennials in general are going through because, we grew up in a time where it was fucking dope. I love the era I grew up in. No phones, no technology. I went outside. I got my ass kicked. I beat somebody's ass. Like, you were a fucking kid. But now, or like you got whooped by your parents, especially like, by a Walis or a fucking spoon. But like, that shit, you don't realize it triggers something in you and in your body. And this is the shit I'm learning in therapy. I know I keep fucking bringing up therapy, but like, this is the shit that you learn and the shit that you go through and kind of weave out. And my whole thing is, I want to break these curses. Like, I do want to hit my kid, but but I'm not gonna hit him with a fucking broom and break it over their back or something.
Right.
And I'm sure that's happened to you. I'm fucking positive that's happened to you, bro. And that's the shit that we have, like the gossiping, the telling your daughter or son that they got fat, but then you feed them hella food and tell them to come eat. Like it's all like very like small psychological shit, but it's all toxic and it fucks with your mindset, and like that shit reverberates to like later generations, and I realized that our parents and grandparents, they sacrificed a fucking lot to get here. But don't throw that in my face, bro. Like we could have stayed in the Philippines and never known this life, and we would have been for the better or the worse. But don't throw it in my face because you decided to come here, and now I'm trying to like do me at the end of the day, And that's a lot of things that Filipinos in our generation, we're trying to honor our heritage and the people that came before us, but we're also trying to like embark and like create this new wave and this new path for like Filipino Americans and Philams and Filipinx and whatever other vowels there are in this generation. And like, it's pretty cool to be a part of, but I think that's like, I kind of got to watch what I say sometimes, but yeah, man, like, yeah, I really want to break these little generational curses and like normalize some shit, like talking about our feelings. And, I'm not going to say I'm the biggest proponent of that, cause I used to be pretty closed off, but yeah, man, like that's the shit that like needs to go. Like, bro, example, white people are so fucking happy because those families literally talk about their feelings back then, like way more than other families because they can afford to. I want to get to that. I want to get to that stage in life and like that stage for my family in life.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I'm 100% with you, bro. And you see things pretty much exactly the way I see things in regards to breaking generational curses. Everything you actually alluded to it earlier, bro, when we were talking about, our family came from the Philippines and, made all these sacrifices for us and everything like that. And, that shouldn't go for nothing. I mean, I feel like, they put us in a situation, right, where we could be better. Like our responsibility is to be better, is to make our heritage and our culture better, bro, and pass that on to the next generation, bro. And you're absolutely right. I was telling you, I don't know if it was on camera or not, bro, but I was telling you, shit, man, I'm at the ripe age of 37 now, bro. But like, I just started.
Young buck.
Appreciate you, bro. I just started experiencing this level of clarity where I see things a whole lot differently than I used to, bro. I used to be like, oh my God, bro. And not to say I'm a fucking genius or anything like that, or like I'm a fully evolved version of myself, but the person I used to be, bro, was fucking dangerous, bro. Was fucking ridiculous. I used to do some crazy ass shit, bro. And looking back at it, I'm like, bro, like I probably should have been dead so many times, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still here, bro. And I question that, bro. I question like, okay, why am I still here? And for me, bro, like I've recognized that like maybe there's a bigger purpose, and I'm just trying to uncover that truth, whatever that may be, and just trying to continuously make progress on my journey. And as I do that, I'm trying to be that example, because eventually, God willing, when I do have kids of my own, I do want to be just similar to what you were just saying. I want to be able to raise them in an environment where where I'm not like fucking unconsciously like putting them through these traumatic ass experiences that are gonna fucking ultimately fuck them up down the line.
Yeah.
And I love my parents. I'm gonna be dead ass. I love my parents, and we have such an amazing relationship now. you know what I'm saying, as I've like evolved myself and my grandma and everybody that's made sacrifices and everybody that's made sacrifices for them to be where they're at. I love everybody, you know, through my ancestry that have basically given me the opportunity to be here right now in this time and in this place. So out of respect for all of them, I feel like it's an even bigger sense of responsibility in a good way to put ourselves in a better place, man. Break these generational curses, man. We hear this term a lot, generational wealth. That's something that I'm trying to do. I mean, I'm very early in this podcasting game. I don't know what it's going to turn into. I have visions of what I want it to turn out to. I don't know though. I don't know, you know, what's going to, you know, develop from all this stuff. Only time will tell. And I think that honestly, bro, that's just a natural progression of like how things go. You know, our parents, they came from the Philippines, they brought us here, gave us all these opportunities. And dude, similar to you, you know, my grandma, she'd be throwing that shit in my face, bro. She'd be like, oh, you don't feed me, you don't do this. Oh my God, bro. I be getting all that shit. And I know where it comes from because she had to become hardened to make it, to fucking make that journey, all that trek all the way over here and bring our whole family over here. So I understand it. And that's why, like, God bless her heart, I'm always gonna have like the highest amount of respect possible for my grandma and love, like no matter what. And
of course,
but at the same time, that doesn't mean that like I'm going to carry every single thing that she's like kind of like giving me into the future going forward.
You're not indebted to her.
Right, exactly, bro. And I think that similar to a lot of Filipinos, man, I'm sure, like I felt that sense of, you know, being in debt, bro. Like, damn, I do owe it to her. But now it's more like that used to be my mindset. But now it's more like, you know what, man? I get to be in this situation, bro, where I can carry the torch forward and make it better for all of us, bro. You know what I'm saying? And whether that happens or not, I don't know. But I'm gonna, you know, just like 50 Cent said, man, I'm gonna get rich or die trying, bro. I'm gonna try to break generational curses or die trying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be your ancestors' wildest dreams at the end of the day. Like that's my boy, shout out Kenny. Like he put that in my mind. Like I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. Like, bro, like 200 years ago, 100 years ago, these motherfuckers were wiping their asses with a banana leaf and then using it to make sago or whatever. And like, look at us now, bro. Like you and me are chopping it up, like trying to grow and become something other than a farm worker or other than like a house builder or a nurse, you know. And I think it's cool that a lot of other Filipinos are starting to get into that mold too, where, you know, we were locked in as nurses. Like, bro, Filipinos were raised like farm pigs for the nursing industry. Like they had nursing schools in the Philippines just so they can funnel them into America because there was such a shortage on these jobs, or such a shortage on the workforce. You know, that's why we have all these OFWs like in Saudi Arabia. Like my mom went to, I think it was like 89, like 85 to like 89 or 90, like right before she had me. She was in Saudi Arabia with my aunt, her best friend. And yo, I could have ended up a sultan's son. I could have been a prince, which is fucking crazy. But now she chose to come here to America and, like, you know, ultimately probably give us a better life at the end of the day. But she, you know, she like a lot of other Filipino moms and a lot of other, you know, older Filipinos, they felt like we're indebted to them. But it's like, no, like like we kind of talked about at the top of the show, like, no, we're not indebted to you. We're thankful and we're so fucking grateful you made these sacrifices. But now you kind of got to let us lead our own life and forge our own path. Like you can't decide this shit for us because, you know, in 20, 30, 40 years, that shit is going to create resent. And like, you know, that's another generational curse if we're going to talk about it. So like, you know, at the end of the day, like you got to do you. Like you have to do you. And that's so much easier said than done. But once you even start like a little sliver of doing you, it cascades into like a little bit more, a little bit more. It's like brick by brick every day. And then you got this wall, not the Mexican wall, but you got this wall that you built up and it's like nobody can fuck with you.
That's a fact, bro. That part right there, man. Always do you. Shout out to my boy AB, man. That's his Instagram handle. Always do you, man. And it's a way of life, bro. Like, you got to, bro. Like when I've recognized, bro, to add to what you were saying, I recognize that when you're not living life for yourself and you're living to please other people, or you're living to fulfill somebody else's dream, and your parents are living vicariously through you, or whatever the fucking case may be, bro,
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be a very unhappy, unhealthy life, bro. You're going to be dealing with all sorts of different shit, like you mentioned:
Yeah.
resentment, anxiety, stress, low self-esteem, you know what I'm saying?
Shit.
All these different things, bro. And I recognize more and more, bro, that like we have a voice in our head. You alluded to it earlier, especially when you go through your comedy thing. You're like, you're almost giving yourself reverse psychology to kind of like get you in that zone before you get on
Yeah.
stage, right? So that voice in your head, when you recognize that you can control it, and you recognize there's always a choice in the matter, even if for a millisecond, sometimes things happen really fast, and we react rather than respond, but there's always that space, bro. I read a book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. I don't know if you've read it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a really
No.
good book, man. It's about him being like a prisoner in the during the whole Holocaust and everything like that.
Oh
But at the
shit.
same time, it's a deep book, bro. It's a very deep book. I'll shoot it over to you, man, after we get done here, man. Um, but one of the key things that I picked up from that book was that, you know, I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of this, but there's always like a space in between stimulation and god damn it, I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of it. But basically the whole thing is like there's always a space, no matter what's happening in your life, that's like a situation that's in front of you. There's always a space to take time to think about how you wish to respond rather than to react. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times, something that I used to do, bruh, and it could be because of conditioning, it could be because of past traumas and everything like that, and probably was, to be honest with you. But something I used to do was like get super emotional, bruh, and fucking react, and it would just like it would develop further and further into worse things, bro. So many things would compound from that negatively when I didn't think about how I choose to respond rather than react. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you find that space, even if it's small, that fucking millisecond, bro, to choose like how you wish to respond, you can actually set yourself up for something better. I always give this example all the time, bro, and it's happened to me several times, and it's interesting to kind of see the reaction that I get afterwards. There's a lot of people that got a lot of fucking road rage, right? I used to be
Yeah.
one of them, and I
Oh
still
yeah. I still kind of am. I still have those like every once in a while, and
right.
I get really racist too. Like,
Especially out here in the Bay Area,
yeah,
bro.
bro. I'm not gonna lie. When I get my road rage, I speed up, not to get mad, but to look, and I'm like, God damn it! Like it is one. And I'm not gonna say the ethnicity, but I know we're thinking the same. I know we're all thinking the same one over here, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna fucking say it.
I'm dead. I'm dead. But this is a classic example I always give, bro. And I'll kind of follow up with a few experiences that I've had when I chose to respond rather than react. I
Mhm.
used to, whenever, okay, let's just say somebody cut you off. I used to get pissed, bro. I used to get in the other lane, try to catch up to this motherfucker. I'm honking at this motherfucker,
Mhm.
high beaming this, all that shit, bro. Flipping the bird, all that shit, bro. And can you imagine all of the chain of events that could have set off if like it went bad, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's been so many events like that for a lot of people where people pull over, gun gets pulled out, motherfuckers lose their life over some road rage shit. And I recognize, bro, like I was just a very temperamental person, bro. I didn't know how to deal with my temper. And, I used to be that I would react when somebody would do something, I would be like, I would react. Now I take that millisecond. Somebody cut me off. It still bothers me. I'm not gonna lie. But then I recognize to myself, okay, what's the right move here, bro? What's the right thing to do here? Should I fucking do what I used to do all the fucking time and get myself into a situation that could potentially be violent, or
Yeah.
or just throw off my sense of peace? Or should I just be like, what, fuck it, man? Chuck the deuce and just like say peace, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I remember specifically this one time, bro. I was in a rush to get somewhere. I was on 16th. I was going to the Chase Center because I used to work for the Chase Center in the Golden State Warriors, and I was going from my house, which is like Kezar Stadium, like by Hayden, Ashbury, by Golden Gate Park. So I took 16th to get over there, and it's only a 2-lane thing, bro. And I remember, bro, these ghetto ass black dudes, bro, like 2 or 3 of them, they were driving hella slow on the right lane. And I found this opportunity to pass them up. I didn't recognize who was in the front, you know what I'm talking about? But like, I fucking passed them up, bro. Like, I basically was the dude that cut them off, right?
Mhm.
So I took the pass, cut them off, and then they did the same thing I used to do, bro. They tried to come up to me, and they came up to me, bro. And you know what I did, bro? Rather than kind of return that energy, like I probably would in the past because I'm fucking crazy like that sometimes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What I did, bro, was I was like hella apologetic, bro. I was just like, yo, I just chucked the deuce. I was like, bro, my bad. I was like, bro, I didn't realize it was gonna turn into that. And you know what that did, bro, was it diffused the situation.
Yeah.
They recognized it wasn't even, it didn't even need to
There
get
was
to
no
that.
malice in it.
Right. It didn't need to escalate to that type of situation where we had to bark at each other or even get
Yeah.
out the car and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was a choice I had made in the moment. Now, if I was emotional and I was mad because I was rushing, I was in a space where like, it was highly volatile. Like something could have set that off. And if I didn't make that right choice, bruh, who knows what that could have like led to? You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's always that space, bro, where you could choose how you wish to respond versus react off of like pure emotions. Because I'd say 9 times out of 10, when you're going off emotions, it's usually going to like, be the wrong decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's a practice in itself, bro. Like, that's one of the things that I'm learning right now. That's a tool, like trying to control your anger, trying to control your emotions. Like prior to taking therapy, things like the fourth or fifth time I mentioned it, like I only knew two emotions, and that was like happy or fucking angry and mad, and I'm a lot like you. I was a hothead, like, bro, like I should have got jumped. I probably should have got like stabbed and killed like multiple times in my life, because not only do I have a bad temper, a smart mouth, and I'm fucking relentless when it comes to like certain things, like those are a recipe for fucking failure. I'm bound for like a fucking hurting. But through time and through like meditation and space, like you said, you get to realize that, oh fuck, like i'm I'm what's kind of attracting these negative energies at the moment. And that's one of the biggest things that people don't realize. Sometimes people try to play victim a lot. A lot of people play victim a lot, but they fail to realize that sometimes, you're the one bringing that energy into this situation or multiple situations. And you always wonder why does this happen to me? Is because you're bringing that shit to the table. You're bringing that shit into the world. And you may not be outwardly saying like, yo, bring this negative shit to me, but it could be like something as simple as eating, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself. It's like you're inviting that type of energy into your life, and it sticks with you like when you step on a piece of shit. It's that shit that you step in. And until you wipe that shit clean, like it's just gonna follow you everywhere you go.
Mm. Man, that's deep, bro. And that's real shit, bro. And that's something I think what you just described basically is the law of attraction, bro.
Yeah.
If you and I firmly believe in this law, bro. It's a universal law, bro, of like, you know, you attract what you are, bro.
Yeah.
If you're a fucking like if you've got all this anger and negative energy, whether you know it or not, and you wonder why things are happening for you, bro, like it's because something inside you is still it's not aligned yet, bro. Like it's
Mm.
misaligned. And I think that like, and not to get into a spiritual woo-woo type of conversation, but it's definitely something that like I've been really trying to understand more and more. I have a ton of great conversations with great friends about this shit. And I admire a lot of spiritual leaders and people that are focusing on self-development. So it's a common theme that you hear in a lot of these lessons that have kind of made it to my fray. And it's and when you're aware of that, bro, you can then make decisions that can basically help you alter how you want your life to be. You know, if like I said,
Mm.
like you were talking about, like I wasn't aware of that shit, bro. I wasn't aware of like how, well, I might have been, but I didn't really give a fuck, you know, when I was like fucking temperamental and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like I was in a space where I was just like, fuck this, like fuck everything, you know what I'm saying? And you know, when you recognize why you're not happy in your life because of some of the things that are around your life and shit like that, you recognize like it's not anything that's external, bro. It's actually like something internal. And when you go within, you referenced meditation, yoga. These practices are amazing practices that allow you that time to really do some self-reflection. Be fucking real with yourself, bruh, and recognizing where your shortcomings and deficiencies are coming from, or if there's something that you don't like particularly in your life. Most oftentimes, I'd say, shit, man, I go as far as to say is 100% of the time, it's something within you that's like,
Yeah.
that like if you don't like something outside, it's something inside that you need to like switch up, you need to tweak a little bit in order to kind of get the results that you desire.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Again,
Yeah.
it's you versus you.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, it's like what you were saying earlier. Like you can't control what everybody on the outside thinks of. You got to just like be within yourself. And like that's funny that you bring up the law of attraction. And I'm probably gonna veer off hella randomly. Like that was one of the first things Deepak Chopra's Seven Spiritual Laws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Seven Spiritual Laws. That was one of the first
Great
things
book.
AB. Yeah, one of the first things AB and I connected on
Oh
when we
wow.
first became homies. Yeah, yeah. I remember we were talking about it, and he was just like, "Yeah, bro. Like I go back to that book every so often, and I just read one passage." And I looked at him. I was like, "Why do you do that?" And then I thought about it like over the years, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like coming back to it, just like one part of the book is actually like really smart because I used to think, and this is like my mentality of like being a perfectionist and trying to like do your best at all times when it doesn't need to be. Like I always thought like, oh, if I read this I got to read through the whole thing, but like AB made a great point to like, oh, you could just go to one chapter and one part of the book and just read it, and you learn something new every single time. It's a lot like reading The Alchemist. You read it multiple times, you'll find something different every time because you're on a different journey of your life. Whenever, unless you're reading it like every 2 or 3 months, then I don't know how much progression, unless you're like fucking Bezos or something. But you you learn something new about yourself and about the story every time, and you take away something different, which is pretty sick, especially within a book by like Deepak Chopra, who you said is like a big spiritual leader. And yeah, it's just crazy, man. Like the law of attraction is fucking nuts. I'm actually trying to read, or not trying, I'm trying to listen to the 48 laws of power, and
Right.
they mention law of attraction too, but it's just way too complicated for me to like read and get into right now. But like that's a real thing that people don't realize, like energy and spirituality. And sounds like, some like hippy dippy like fucking moonstone bullshit, but that shit is real. I'm like really starting to believe it. I'm like, fuck, okay, like I'm gonna start taking it seriously as a part of my life now.
Hey, you know what, bruh? And it is, bro. Like I never like to come off as like, you know, preachy or anything like that, bro. Because like I mentioned earlier, bro, I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of life too, bro. I'm still learning. So,
Yeah.
but one of the things about this podcast is just constantly sharing what's been working for you. And for me personally, a lot, you know, studying the law of attraction, trying to understand it further has really helped me in my life immensely because, you know, again, when you recognize, you know, where, you know, if you're unhappy with certain things that are in your life and you recognize it's nothing that's going on outside, you know, it's most oftentimes something that's internal. You can then, once you're aware of that and you place your faith in that and you believe in that wholeheartedly, you can then alter what you do inside or how you know, present yourself in the world and what type of energy you attract, like by choosing to be who you want to be and elevate yourself to your highest self, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You attract all these great things in your life. And similarly, so if you're unaware, even if you believe it or not, like if you're just like a negative person all the time, guess what? A lot of negativity is gonna come into your life, bro. It's just weird how simple it really is. It's almost like unbelievable. But the more and more I've kind of like progressed, I've recognized just how true it fucking is, bro. And I'm trying to, there's times I'm like, dude, it can't be this fucking easy. It really can't. But I will tell you,
Yeah.
man, you know, like I used to be in a very dark space, bro. You know, I kind of referenced it earlier, bro. I was a wild boy, bro, when I was a young dude. You know what I'm saying? I still got some wild qualities about me, but I've honed in a whole lot more, reeled myself in a whole lot more, bro. And through my self-development and just understanding of like, you know, mastering yourself in order to kind of like attract and build the life that you desire is like the biggest thing, bro, because it's not what other motherfuckers are doing. We referred to it earlier, bro. It's comparing yourself to somebody else is not going to get you to where you want to get to.
Yeah.
Maybe now, you know, I could be wrong about that too, because some people could use that as motivation. You know what I'm saying? Some people that might work for them. But like as I've kind of like developed myself, I've recognized the simplicity in just the way things work, bro. Change what you need to change in yourself in order to get the results that you want, bro. You know what I'm talking about? And like it's crazy the way it works, man. And you know, it's a continuous process. It's not like something that's just going to be like, oh, flip the switch and it's going to happen. But I think as you, like you said earlier, you keep practicing things, bro, you get better. Just like with your comedy, bro. Like, you know, the more repetition you have, the more times you get on stage. Just like with anything, Steph Curry shooting the basketball, bro. He probably shoots that motherfucker like 1,000 times a day,
Yeah.
and that's why he's so fucking good at what he does. You know what I'm saying? I think once you immerse yourself, once you first of all figure out what it is that you want to fucking do, and you commit to that path, and you immerse yourself, you become obsessed, like Kobe Bryant says, and you eventually will arrive to a point where like, damn, look at all that's happening for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's a fun process, bro. But you know, for so long I was unaware of that shit, bro. And I was wondering like, why the fuck is my shit all fucked up? Why is like all this crazy ass shit happening in my life? And I, you know, I would blame other people, bro. You referenced it earlier again, victimhood mentality. I was very much that type of person, bro. You know what I'm talking about? I would
Yeah.
point to blame
Hell
and,
yeah.
and I'd be like, oh, my dad should have did this for me. My mom should have did this, you know, this and that. And I recognized, bro, that shit was not getting me nowhere, bro. And matter
Well,
of fact, it was sinking me further.
shit. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, bro. No, I want you to step in on it. Go ahead.
But no, bro, like it's I'm gonna go back a little bit back to what you were saying. Is the universe talks, bro. The universe listens and it'll speak back to you at the end of the day, man. So whatever you're putting out, it's gonna give right back to you, even the littlest thing. Yo, so Nas in I think it's in Whose World Is This? He had a concert, right? And this may or might not apply. He had a concert, an orchestrated concert for him. For what album is that? What's Nas's first album that who's
Illmatic.
for Illmatic, and he did this whole orchestra, and he was talking about how the universe listens, even the smallest thing. You write that something on paper, and the universe will do it for you. And he was talking about something as small as like writing that his daughter would be born before his son. And then he thinks of, he writes about, he says something like thinking of a word best describing my life to name my daughter, my strength, my son, the star will be my resurrection. And it's just like something like that. You know, you may think of it as like insignificant at face value, but if you really think about it, like that shit speaks volumes to like what happens around us. And you know, like I have nothing else to say in regards to that, but it's like you really got to see what you're putting out into the world before like that shit is self-destructive, honestly.
Once you know, for so long, you know, I was unaware, I was unconscious about shit. But now through self-awareness that I've been cultivating more and more on an everyday basis, I try to, you know, as part of my practice, is just part of not necessarily judging yourself, but just being real with yourself and recognizing where, you know, why certain things are happening rather than pointing the blame. And once you take full responsibility for your life, you can start to make choices that are going to basically manifest your life into different ways, bro. You know, like these terms are a lot of like very woo-woo words, bro. But it's crazy because like the further and further I get into these like, you know, understandings and shit like that, it's just so simple the way things work. I mean, bro, what basically Nas just did right there is what LeVar Ball did for his sons. Like he
Yeah.
spoke
Yeah.
it into existence, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he, you know, I believe that, bro. And it's so crazy, bro, because you just referenced Nas. we talk about LeVar Ball. There's so many successful people that I see on Instagram now. I see these chopped up clips of people. They're talking about exactly what we're talking about, bro. Like, oh, I believe this, early in the game. And if it took 10 years, it took fucking 10 years, bro. I think a lot of times, myself included, I'm very guilty of this, bro. Like, I want that microwavable type of result, that instant, immediate gratification. And I
Yeah.
think that when you kind of like when you have that type of mindset, you're setting yourself up for failure, bro. Like you also talked about it earlier, bro. Everybody's journey is their own, and we're on our own time, bro. And you also talked about what'd you say? You said you put a time on your success. What'd you
I put a
say?
timestamp on my success. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
bro.
like that's I'm sure a lot of other people do that, especially in this day and age where it's so easy to see like an instant like millionaire or whatever on TikTok, and it's like, you're doing this? Are you fucking serious? You made that amount of money? And you know, like I also what I was saying earlier, like you don't know what the fuck they went through. Like they could have had like four dicks in their mouth, unfortunately. and we would not know until like 10, 15 years later. And yeah, it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, nah, it's we live in a world where, we want results fast. Myself
Yeah.
included, bro. I'm
Yeah.
guilty of it, man. You know what I'm saying? And something that like I constantly tell myself, bro, as I continue to embark on this journey of podcasting and building my own brand, because I have my own personal goals that I've written out, that I have defined and clearly outlined. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you this real quick. It's posted up on my wall, man.
Nice.
It's an affirmation that I read to myself every morning. Um, but it basically just says, I will own and operate a wildly successful brand that is created from the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast, and my brand will serve and help millions of people all over the world. And I don't know, like eventually when I'm going to reach that reach, but it's something that like is visually I see every day. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm believing more and more every day. You know what I'm saying? Because it does sound very, like very unreachable to a lot of people, but and in many ways it still is, because I'm still very early in this shit. But I think that like when you set that intention, you believe in it with your fucking full faith, bro, and you just keep going forward, you keep moving every day, you keep progressing every day, challenging yourself to get better. And in a game like this, bro, it's about just continuously working, bro, putting in the work don't stop, bro. And just like you with your comedy thing, bro, you just did a show last night. You know what I'm saying? Like you're putting in work behind the scenes. You're working on, getting your studio. All that shit, bro, is eventually going to, help you build the life that you desire, the life that you envision for yourself, bro. But you gotta stay patient, bro. And I think that, like, again,
Oof, that's
we
fucking hard.
it is hard.
My
It is
patience
hard.
is thin.
Yeah, bro.
I'm patient. I'm patiently impatient. Like I have patience. Like I know the course and do all this shit, but just like in my mind, I'm like, fuck, this should be where it is now. Like I
Mm,
should be this, whatever I'm doing should be where I am now. And
yeah.
it's wild. It's wild. That's kind of what psychs me out sometimes.
You know what though? As you continue to practice yoga and meditation, bro, as a natural kind of like byproduct of like that practice, your patience is going to become more and more, because I think it, especially looking back at when I first started meditating, and I don't practice yoga all the time, but whenever I do, like it's very much tied into meditation and in that space, right? But
Hmm.
I remember when I first started doing it, it was very hard for me to be grounded in the present moment. My mind was shooting off in all sorts of different directions, bro.
Yeah.
But the more you sit with yourself, and the more you kind of like you focus on your breathing, and you literally block out that time specifically just to be grounded in that present moment, it becomes easier. And then it starts to become applied into your everyday life. And something I've learned, bro, you can't really describe meditation or the meditative practice to anybody. Everybody's experience is going to be their own. But as I've
Hmm.
kind of like progressed in this journey of mine, I've recognized just how valuable of a tool. I'm such a huge advocate for, you know, um, it's similar to like going to the gym, working on your fucking muscles. Your brain is like your most important fucking muscle in my opinion.
What keeps you young?
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm constant, you got to constantly learn. I always say, bro, like if you ain't learning no more, bro, you might as well be dying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
bro.
know?
Like I finished reading the Nipsey Hussle autobiography, right? Like maybe a
Ooh.
couple, like 3 weeks ago, maybe like a month ago now. Like I have been kind of lacking in that regard, and as far as like reading and shit like that. So I've been like so ingrained in like comedy and trying to like start the podcast up again. I felt myself getting a little dumber throughout the month. Like I
Mm.
would just like watch podcasts or listen to podcasts thinking like, oh no, this is cool. It's a comedy podcast. I'm learning something, but I could feel myself getting a lot slower. And I'm like, oh shit. So the last couple of days I had been trying to go to Barnes and Nobles or Target or to a bookstore to find the like, excuse me, to find the next book that I'm gonna read for the month, because like I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to feel like this. And honestly, I know at times when I've bombed, sometimes my brain will have switched off a little bit, and I know it's a result of not staying sharp. And that's a part of preparation that I was talking about. Like it's not only preparing for the show, it's like, you know, kind of preparing, like being prepared for life. And I don't want to compare comedy to life, but like that's the way I'm looking at it. So like I could see that, okay, my brain's feeling a lot slower because I haven't read. I haven't, all I've been doing is soaking up, like taking, like, yeah, soaking up information, not taking it in. And like there's a significant difference when you do that. Like taking in information, you're like, you're able to assess it and like regurgitate it out. But like if you're just like taking it in and like not, and like, and just like it's like whatever, it's just content, like that's when you kind of lose yourself, and that's like where I fuck up sometimes.
Yeah, bro. You know, it's we live in a world, bro. It's the age of information, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we're constantly, at least for me too, especially with Instagram, you get these quick doses. You get, but at the same time, like you know, you're learning things, but it's not, you're not getting the full nutrients of that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like you can
it's
from a book.
it's a quick hit.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I love podcasts, bro, which is one of the main reasons why I obviously created one too, because it is a new form of learning, bro. And, you know, just like anything, like if we were to just kind of like get sucked into the TV and let that kind of be our only source of knowledge, bro, like your brain is going to be malnourished. You're not
Yeah.
really like getting that full body workout for your brain like a book can, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, bro. And obviously like this can kind of branch off into a whole separate discussion, because the TV, the way it's designed or what it's evolved into, man, it's all about
Mhm.
trying to keep you locked in and watching fucking 8 hours a day, bro. And it
Yeah.
basically turns you into a fucking zombie if you don't catch it, bro. And there are a lot of us out there, bro, that, you know, fall victim to that, man. But, you know, that's why, like, I feel, bro, especially as like, and I hate to, I don't like to use this term too much, bro, woke. You know what I'm talking about? We hear that shit all
Uh-huh.
the time.
Yeah.
But I do honestly feel like I am in a place right now where I talked about it earlier. I see things a lot more clearly now.
Hmm.
And, you know, although I still make a lot of the same mistakes, I still do some things that I know I could be doing better. I still lack self-discipline in certain areas. At least I'm aware of certain things. And, you know, I feel as I continue to develop myself, it's a responsibility. This is part of breaking generational curses, bro. We need to kind of understand where our attention goes. And when we recognize where our attention
Mm.
goes, we can really kind of, we can really like use that to our advantage, bro, because there's just like the TV, it's like readily available for you with the news mongering and everything like with the fear mongering and everything like that. There's also so many great resources out there, bro, that can help us become sharper, stay sharper, become better. I mean, bro, like I just picked up this book. It just came in Amazon the other day. It's called Invisible Influence: The Hidden Forces That Shape Behavior. And I just started reading it last night. It's a really good book so far, man. But it's, I'm telling you, bro, you want to know something, it's out there. And if you don't know something, the only person who's at fault is you at the end of the day, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Because
Hmm.
we live in a world right now, bro, where you have access right through your fucking phone. Like if you don't know something, bro, we can fucking find out right then and right there, bro. You know what
But
I'm talking
that's
about?
that's like the detriment to it all though, right? Because you have it at the, you have it at the palm of your hand, but you're taking in so much information, you don't know you're not able. It's like being at a buffet. You have all these options. You have all these options, but it's good food, but it's not like going to. There's probably a lot of ghetto people that listen to your podcast. It's not like going to Mastro's. It's not like going to Mastro's and getting that like A1 steak, getting that fucking cream corn or that cream spinach and those fries. Like, no, you're at a buffet, you're getting everything, you're getting a little bit of everything, but you can't retain all that information at one
Right.
time. And all of a sudden, you're just full. Like you don't know why you're full. You don't even know if you're satisfied from the meal, but you know you had a lot of fucking food just now, which was like did taste good at the moment, but did you really like remember the meal? You remember being there at the buffet, but did you really remember the meal at Mastro's? I don't fucking know what it's called, but like you remember that meal. You remember how hearty that meal is. You remember how big that fucking tomahawk steak was.
No, absolutely, bro. We do live in a world where it is hard to differentiate what's good for you and what's not good for you, bro. And you know, the way that marketing is designed nowadays, you got fucking psychology geniuses, bro, that understand how to manipulate things and market things to attract
Yeah.
to stimulate your brain.
And they're getting commissioned, bro. They're getting fucking commissioned by these big ass companies. Like, bro, I work for a company. It's a pretty big company. I'll probably tell you offline, but they have their own like top of the line psychologists from like fucking Cornell and like Ivy League schools that are assessing their product and the way that they corner the market. And it's fucking crazy, man. Like they pay them a commission specifically for that. They don't even work for the company. They just have them on call and they pay them fucking fat to do that.
That's crazy, bro. Have you seen the Social Dilemma?
The Zuckerberg movie, right?
It's no, not the Social Dilemma. No, that's the Social Network you're talking about. That one's a dope
Oh,
movie,
the
by the
Social
way.
Dilemma. Oh, the Social Dilemma, the one on Netflix where it's like former employees, right? When
Correct,
they,
correct.
yeah, man. Like that's fucking crazy. You know, fuck those people, dude. Fuck those people because they built it knowing what the consequences would be. I mean, and throughout the entire series, they were talking about, oh yeah, we knew this, we knew that, but they did nothing to stop it or to create like an emergency button in case it got too crazy. And then the worst part is they say, oh shit, we feel bad, but bro, you made your fucking money and left. You did nothing.
That's a fact, bro. That shit right there. It for those that haven't seen it, man, I highly recommend it because you at least have, whatever your stance is on it, right? Like you at least need to know like the players and what happened and kind of like how this whole social media thing and all these different things develop. I mean, you think about it, bro, like there was nobody in charge of like the moral type of like, restrictions, or there was no like
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, I'm not surprised, bro. We live in a capitalistic society where everything's built on the almighty dollar, bro. You know what I'm talking about? So it's not a surprise either, bro. But it's just a shame, bro. And I worry about a good portion of the next generation because babies are being born into this shit, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As brains are developing at the early stages of life, here's a fucking iPad, here's a fucking iPhone that has all this crazy shit that is literally, it's like a weapon to control your fucking mind. If you're not aware of it, you can easily get drowned in that shit. As I'm talking to you, I'm trying to pull up this quote that like fucking that just makes so much sense, bro. But I think it said we're drowning in information but starving for knowledge. And I
Yeah.
think that's so true because there's, just like you referenced earlier, bro, there's so much out there. There's so many different resources, platforms, all sorts of different things to access for information. So, and like you were referencing with the buffet, that's a great analogy because you know you compared it to the maestros, whatever the fuck. Like that hearty ass meal from Mastros is clearly you're going to be able to be like, Dad, I'm going to remember that one, and it's going to carry that experience and that memory with you. But going to the buffet, you don't know if you like the sushi, you don't know if you like the pasta, you don't know if you like the
Yeah.
fucking burger, you don't like the fries, the salad bar, and then you recognize you're full out of nowhere, and then you're just like, you're like malnourished at the same time, bro, because like you're just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just too much. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's why this quote makes so much sense, bro. You know, we're drowning in information, but starving for knowledge, like real facts, like real wisdom, because there's just so many different things out there for us to access, and it's just crazy. So you have to be vigilant, I think, bro. And that's why, like, I feel like one of the biggest things that like anyone can do for themselves is cultivate a greater sense of self-awareness, because you know, bro, you're not gonna realize that you need to escape from prison if you don't even recognize you're a prisoner. You know what I'm saying? Because these things tend to trap our mind, bro. There's literally people like you mentioned with PhD fucking degrees out there that are building these fucking things that are meant to stimulate your fucking mind, control you, make you buy stuff that you think you need, but you don't really fucking need. You know what I'm saying? And it's all
Mm-hmm.
based on capitalism. And I don't want to get too deep into detail about that shit and get onto a crazy ass rant about that shit. But like, if you're not aware, you could, oh my God, you could be swept up in this shit, bro, and live such an unfulfilled, unhappy life, and have to deal with depression and all that shit, bro. When really shit could be so much simple, bro. When you have that self-awareness, you can understand more and more what makes you feel alive. Like you know what makes you feel alive is getting on that fucking stage, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And you know, a lot of people are, you know, lacking a sense of direction, are lost, and it fucking sucks, bro. It really does, you know?
I think I don't think that they're lost or any. Okay. Yeah, I'll push back a bit. I'll push back on that a little bit. I don't think they're lost. I think the word is they're comfortable.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
They're comfortable in where they're at, and you could be the richest person and be comfortable. You could be like a broke motherfucker and be comfortable. But
Mm-hmm.
if you sit in your comfort, that's where you get lost. Like, dude, people think that, Doomsday and like Terminator and all this shit is like really going to be a fall. And I know these are movies. It's going to be like, that's going to be the technological fall in society. But nah, bro, like, the more accurate depiction of it all is probably the Matrix, where people are kind of just going about their day, not really questioning things, um, accepting not only what their government, but what technology tells them to accept. And that's what kind of, like we were talking about earlier, that's what kind of creates that divide. And that's like a concoction in itself of technology and of like culture, like creating that divide and like having us stay apart to not really realize that there is bigger shit happening in this world other than like who our next president is, who's breaking up with who, like
Mm-hmm.
what how much did Devin Booker drop tonight, which I do fucking love basketball, but like
Same.
if you really like, you got to take a step back every once in a while, like you were saying, and fucking smell the roses, for lack of a better term, because like either way, like we're gonna all die either way, right? But like, if you really want to live in comfort and just stay there and you're cool with it, like, bro, it's like you said earlier again, like you're already fucking dead.
Mm. Mm. Nah, that's facts, bro. And I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said. You actually reworded everything in a better, more concise way, man. And you know what, man? That movie, The Matrix, is so fucking real, bro. That's like one of my favorite movies ever, bro.
Fucking nuts.
Isn't it crazy how fucking movies can like? I swear, I feel like that shit's mocking us sometimes, bro. Like it's literally
Yeah.
depicting our fucking life. It's putting it out right in front of us, and you know, nothing changes. It seems.
I feel like, with like directors and shit and like writers, they're futurists at the end of the day.
Mm.
And I don't know. I don't want to get into this whole thing about like lizard people and like aliens and shit, unless we can. But it's fucking crazy, man, because these these entities really decide like, yo, like, yeah, we'll green light this film. But I feel like you said, they're just mocking us. They're like, yeah, this shit is already happening to you, bro, and we're just gonna tell you what you think is gonna happen to you in a couple years, but really it's happening to you as we speak. And I'm not saying that I'm not a victim of it, bro. I could be like a fucking agent of chaos, just like sent down to this earth to say all this bullshit, and I wouldn't even fucking know. But like at the end of the day, at least, you know, I got to question it and see what was going on with my life. But yeah, man, I'm really like that shit is that movie industry shit is crazy, because I really feel like there's something going on in that world where they're not telling us something. I mean, bro, like there's a reason there's an Area 51, right? There's a reason that all of a sudden, like the defense minister of Canada is like confirming the sight of aliens in America. And then, you know, of course, people are talking about this entire month that aliens are supposed to come, which I'm still waiting for, honestly. But yeah, there's like, I don't know, dude. It's fucking crazy right now. Like, I hope I'm waiting for these motherfuckers.
Yeah, nah, I hear you, bro. You know what? I think though, man, we just got to continue to question everything, bro. Don't take things for face value all the fucking time. And you know, I hate to kind of venture off into this whole like conspiracy theorist type of talk, because I do have these thoughts as well. And like, I'm like, I question shit, bro. And I'm like, why the fuck is this shit like this, bro? And like, with Hollywood, bro, I mean, they have so many different effects that they can make to really fucking tell it, like bring a story to life, illustrate things like, you know what I'm saying, that we can't just do like by talking about, bro. And
Yeah.
it could really like, it's like it's a world, it's like a fucking magical world, bro. But I guess, bro, like the biggest thing for me of what I always try to like do is question shit, bro, challenge shit, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
try to see like how fucking valid shit is or how real shit is, bro. And um, it's a lot of times, bro, I used to take things for face value, bro. I used to be like, oh, this news source is a more credible this and this and this and this and this. And there's a lot of us that are in that space, bro, that just kind of like take everything for face value and don't question shit, bro. And I think that's kind of a dangerous thing to do, because
Yeah.
you just don't know who the powers that be really are, bro. Like, as I mean, we ain't been on this planet for a long time. Like
Bro.
I'm only 37 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot has happened before I got here, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
don't know, I don't know a lot. That's why I just try to stay open-minded, try to question things, try to challenge things, and continuously learn, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Equip myself with the tools, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding. That way I can just like, do what I feel like is meant for my purpose. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, bro, because this whole conversation has been dope, because like it's kind of like jump from this to this to that. And I kind of figured that was what was going to be between me and you, your fellow podcaster, yourself, bro. And it's just so cool, bro. Like, but like, anybody that's listening to this, man, that's made it this far into the conversation, definitely, I would always encourage people to just challenge things, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if you have your stance, then stand on that stance. But at the same time, question it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just take shit for face value, because it's dangerous, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say, don't trust nobody, because, like, but at the same time, bro, like, you just never fucking know, bro. Like, what direction are we all going in, bro? With all this shit, with this capitalistic shit, what are we
Bro.
building towards? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I'll give you a prime fucking example. So like over the years, right, when Trump was president, people had been giving him shit for like meeting up with Putin. Like, yo, like this motherfucker's gonna do something crazy. He's gonna, like, I don't know, he's gonna try to assassinate Putin or whatever. Bro, Joe Biden just went and yeah, Joe Biden just went to go see Putin not too long ago, and they chopped it up like, no news outlets, nobody's fucking batting an eye. Everybody's just thinking it's like a normal thing, and that's like the hypocrisy in it, both
Mm-hmm.
in like politics, because like, bro, yo, I know Trump wasn't the best president or whatever, he's a piece of shit, and that's no excuse. Like, bro, like if you're gonna give if you're gonna give Trump shit for meeting with Putin, why isn't it that nobody is batting an eye to Biden? And like that's fucking crazy, man. And I mean, fucking just another example is Kamala Harris, like last week, was it like don't come, when a year ago her whole thing was like, yo, if you come to America, we will feed you, we will bathe you, we will clothe you, some Statue of Liberty shit. And now it's like, people post it up on Instagram, they put it up on social media, but nobody, for the most part, it's like nobody fucking cares. We just talk about it and then we move the fuck on. And nobody, like you said, nobody's questioning it. And that's fucking scary because we're going to normal, like, yeah, one side has their president, one side has the power that they want. But it's like, what's going to happen? Is that power now going to be abused because the other side, like, quote unquote, kind of abused it during their time? And who's to say that that power isn't going to be like, what is it? Isn't going to shift and create, like, I don't know, not even a democracy anymore, like a monarchy or fucking an oligarchy, where just like where they just like throw away the book and like start over brand new, because we're reaching that age where people are getting sick of democracy and the shit that America stands for. So who's to say that the purge doesn't happen? And I'm not fucking kidding when I say that I I wholly believe that shit may happen soon. It may not be government sanctioned, but that shit will happen eventually. Like, people are gonna start offing themselves. Like, bro, in the city, like, motherfuckers are already killing each other. I saw a video of an old, everybody knows the story of the old lady that got stabbed, but nobody saw the video. Maybe a lot of people have up until now. Like, a lot of people, there's this old man, like these two dudes just walk up to this old man and they stab him and they walk away. And it's like, and the old man is just standing there like shocked. And it's like, fuck, we're reaching that point.
It's a scary thing to think about that shit, and not only think about it, to see it, like it's actually coming to life and coming to fruition. And you know I want to hold out the belief that like things can get better and will get better. I mean, they definitely can get better, because any adversity, any type of challenging situation, it's really just an opportunity in disguise for something else to happen. But we are living in some precarious times right now where the sensitivity of things and the violence and all these different, the disagreements, to just like polarization, the two different ends of the spectrum, all these different things, bro. Just the divide in general, bro, it is a scary place, bro. And um I do want to believe, though, right now, especially as the doors are starting to open from this fucking pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
that hopefully, bro, as time progresses, and especially as like people have like evolved, and like, because similar to you, bro, I took this whole past year to try to level up my mentality as much as I could, bro. I was among many of us that had to lose my job because of the pandemic and everything like that. And
Mm-hmm.
but it also forced me to learn more about myself, learn more about what means something to myself, man. And I guess I guess I'm saying that to say that, like, with everything going on right now, bruh, it's goddamn, dude. It's just so heavy, dude. It's so fucking
Mm-hmm.
heavy, bro. Like, with all this shit, man, that like at a certain point I've kind of made it my point to just kind of like make sure that I'm not overly immersing myself in this shit, inundating myself with like a lot of this crazy shit, because I noticed what that does to my energy. It doesn't mean to say that I don't give a fuck, or like I'm heartless and I don't care about what's going on.
You just got to save yourself from yourself at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. And like I mentioned earlier, bro, I I I try to remain optimistic with things, bro. And sometimes that's really hard to do, bro, because
Yeah.
like you just see what's happening out there on the news. But I firmly believe in my heart that like there's a ton of great people out there that are doing great work, that are putting out great energy. It's probably even more so than the negative, but we just see that all because we see the phone. And not to say it's not happening, because it's fucking happening, right? Like, there's no denying that. But with the access that we have on these phones and on the TV, just a 24-hour news cycle of fear mongering. And then you think about like the news and like the agendas behind it, the political agendas, the fucking money that they
Mm-hmm.
make, the ratings that they generate, all these different things. And then you got millions upon millions of people that are tuned in. And imagine the effect that it's having on somebody's brain, bro. And it's kind of like, what's dangerous about that to me is it's really like taking the ability away from a lot of us to think for ourselves, and formulate our own opinions, and really create our own dialogue, and find, rather than look at things that are going wrong, what can we find? What are ways that we can find to kind of like mend this shit? Because we talked about it earlier, bro. We're so fucking divided, and it's a scary place to be. I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. I'm not a fucking. I can't predict the future. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is control this very moment right now that I'm in. Control what I can control, and pray to God that shit works out the best, bro. But
Yeah.
you know, uh, I just kind of went on a crazy ass tangent, man, because there is this level of
Nah, go off, bro.
there's this level of frustration in me, bro, with everything that's been happening, bro, and it breaks my fucking heart, bro, with the violence, and people are just like they're just shell shocked, man. You know what I'm saying? It's
They're
scary,
they're
dude.
they're well, the way I see it is like people are going back to their primal state, and like this isn't like based on race. This is based on being a human. Like people are reverting back to their primal state on how to survive in this world. Like 100,000 or whatever years ago, we were hunters. And like you keep motherfuckers cooped up like this, and I feel like, dude, like there have been reports now that Wuhan had a corona like center, like science center, and that's how it got leaked because like some people got sick and then they went to the hospital and then that's how it all spread, right? But I feel like this whole year, now that I look back on it, was like some type of crazy social experiment.
Mm.
And fuck, what was I saying? I kind of lost my train of thought.
Crazy
But
social experiment.
no, before that.
Oh, the Wuhan Center.
No, before that. Fuck. I lost my whole train of thought on
That
that
shit
one.
happens to me all the fucking
Fuck, I
time,
had a
dude.
super brain fart. But not like I really feel like this whole year was a social experiment on how like and it allowed the government and like the powers that be to really see like how much can we actually get away with, like how much chaos can we actually cause. And like bro, if you think that this like things like this aren't planned, like you are fucking delusional. Like bro, there's no reason, and everybody says this, there's no reason that there should be a vaccine like 7-8 months outside, like after the pandemic starts, like that's just fucking unheard of. With if they already didn't have the vaccine working, and if they already didn't have like the the um the disease in place, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like this was a crazy social experiment to like just test our psyche as a society. Oh, this is my main point. Like, yo, if you keep people inside for a whole year and you keep them isolated, it drives people crazy. That's why people in an insane asylum, you keep them isolated like that, they don't get better, they get fucking crazier. And that's what I'm talking about. Like you keep people inside, like everybody's going fucking nuts now. I am outside, like I'm going so fucking crazy. I'm letting people spit in my mouth. I'm going crazy. Like I don't give like I don't give a fuck, bro. But like people, like I said, people are going back to their primal state. They're going back to like hunter gatherer type shit,
Mm-hmm.
And that is scary because we're supposed to be like a reformed or like advanced society, but like you keep motherfuckers locked up like that, plus they're jobless, plus they got to feed their families.
Right.
You don't know the human condition. You don't know how far someone's willing to go to do this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I work for a company. We do a lot of testing. I was in a parking lot in the Fisherman's Wharf $30 parking lots,
Mm-hmm.
right over there. I was parked. I was waiting for my team to come, and I saw a bip happen right in front of me, like 2 cars ahead. And I looked at him. He looked at me, and I just looked down. I kept reading, and he went back. So the team went back. They got another car, and then they left again. They came back. They looked at me, and then I saw that they came back. I looked at them, and we just stared each other down. And it was like one of those mutual understandings. Like, bro, don't touch my fucking car because I just saw you. Like, I'm gonna let you do you. So you let me do me and leave my car the fuck alone. Like, and we're good. And that's like not the prime example, but those are the lengths that people are willing to go to if you push them far enough. And these like these attacks on the Asian American community, fucking unfortunate. This is not only the doing of the shit that Trump was saying the past year. Like this is people like going fucking crazy. These are their minds reverting back into a crazy primal state.
Dude, I mean, we're social creatures by nature, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking put us away. Like, for like a whole year, I wasn't able to hug my grandma, bro. I mean, that shit's crazy, bro. Like, the fact that, like, I still to this day, I can't believe that shit actually happened. They really fucking kept us in the house for this fucking long. I mean, I looked at it as like a huge shift in humanity, bro. I don't, whether it was staged and planned, I don't know. And I kind of do believe it was, to be 100% honest with you. Like, if I'm sharing my true feelings, I fucking believe it was because, and then, or it could have also been, just like, because the two sides in fucking politics never fucking can see eye to eye, bro. As much as like they try to work together, it never fucking works, bro. So this could have just been a natural kind of like, you know, something that happened naturally as a part of them just disagreeing so fucking much. But either fucking way, bro, they kept us in the house for over a fucking year, bro. People lost
Crazy.
their jobs. People, it was fucking hella hard to access EDD, all these different things, bro. And and then
They
imagine
had us climbing on top of each other, bro. It was
it's
like
it's
a scene
crazy.
out of World War Z. You seen
It,
World War Z?
yes, I have.
It was like
Yes, I have.
all those fucking zombies climbing on top of a wall.
Dude, we were fucking hoarding all the fucking
Toilet paper.
toilet paper and all that, bro.
Yeah.
It's so, and you know what? You may very well be right, and I say this because bro, it could have very much been a social experience just to see how much control they have over us as a population, as a
Yeah.
mass. You know what I'm saying? And shit, God forbid, bro. And I don't want them to ever do it again. But like, I was having this conversation the other day, bro. Like, remember how like earlier on in the pandemic they kind of like loosened things up for a little bit. They kind of like let the restaurants open up and then they closed it down again and all that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking to myself, if they were to do that shit again, bro, there will probably be a whole ass uprise, bro. Because there's a lot of people that are frustrated, that are angry, that are like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Because again, we're social fucking creatures, bro. We're gonna go nuts if we're just in the house all the fucking time. I gotta get outside the house, bro. It's just not healthy, bro. You gotta be able to socialize with other people, bro, and connect with other people. Human
Mm-hmm.
connection is very fucking important, bro. And I don't know, bro. Like, that's why, like, I feel like a lot of this shit is happening, bro. There's just like people doing some crazy ass shit out there,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, out here in the Bay Area, especially bipping, bro, breaking into fucking cars, bro. That's just like a natural part of the culture now, bro. And like,
Yeah,
wow,
seeing glass on the floor is like an everyday thing now. Nobody's tripping off of it. Like I said, bro, like it's become so common. Like I just look at the people. I've seen it like 2 or 3 times, and I'm just like, all right, bro, I'm just gonna mind my own fucking business. Because at the end of the day, people got to eat, and there is a crazy class divide right now. There's no middle class anymore, or it's like dwindling. There's only the haves and the have-nots. It's like a scene. It's like the scene out of the Dark Knight Rises, where you saw the bourgeoisie like living it up, having a good time. But once that power was taken away from them, and the poor realized that they had the numbers, all hell broke fucking loose.
god
And
damn.
it sooner or later a it won't be a color divide that is going to keep us apart. It's going to be a complete class divide, and that is fucking scary because just like in the movie, there are way more poor people, bro. There are way more poor people per capita than there are rich, and you can only imagine what desperate people are willing to do and have already done.
Damn. That's, again, these fucking movies mocking us, bro. I mean, they're basically just laying it right there in front of us, man. And it's just so crazy how accurate they are, man. And Jesus Christ. It is a scary thing to kind of think about, man. And again, I try to lean into my optimism. Hey, you maybe I'm fucking, maybe I'm just seeing things, but like I just try my very best to remain optimistic, man, and believe in the good side of things, man. And this
Good
very
on you,
well, huh?
bro. Good on you, bro. I can't do it. I err on the side of caution. Like I'm always so pessimistic, bro. Like And that's just like my guard up, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
try to look at the positives, but I'm just like,
Hey, but it's you're right though, because you also got to question things too, bro. You always got to be like, be aware of like all the different possibilities that can come about. And you know, I just try to reel in my mind sometimes as much as possible, which is why I made, like, for me personally, I don't watch the news anymore, bro. Again, you know, some things, if it's really important, it makes it into my, you know, field of consumption. You know what I'm saying? And I eventually know, like, if I hear a meteor's fucking coming at us, I'm gonna fucking know about that shit, right? But like, as far as like totally inundating myself with some of the stuff that's out there, man, like it's a very dangerous thing for my mind, because I can totally get swept up and lost in that shit, and it'll fuck up my whole energy, bro. I'll fall into a deep path of depression just because I'll feel like, dude, there's no point to fucking living because everything's coming to shit, bro. And so it's
yeah.
like a choice in the matter for me, where it's just like, bro, do I want to like live that way, or do I want to be like, bro, just believe that there's always something that can be better. You know what I'm saying? There's always something better that can happen, bro. Because I think that like faith, faith and hope, that's a practice too, bro. You like optimism, that's a practice too, bro. Like making that conscious choice, man. And it's fucking hard in a world like today, bro, for damn sure, especially with these devices and the TV, like we've been fucking pointing out throughout this conversation, like just how they're designed to fucking like make our minds feel and make us feel about like, you know, how the world is. But I firmly believe, bro, that, you know, for everything bad that's happening, bro, there's even more good out there. It just doesn't get televised. If you look at like the way the news is, bro, what captivates people the most? Oh, fucking crazy ass shit. You're
The
not gonna,
drama.
yeah, the drama, all the crazy ass shit. You're not gonna fucking get somebody that's like, you know, helping the old lady across the street with her groceries, or you know, that's not sexy, bro. That's not like something that's gonna
Yeah.
stimulate your mind. But and if you look at the news, bro, they're, you know, they make their money off of ratings. Have you ever seen that movie Nightwalker or Nightcrawler?
No, 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 but I heard it's really fucking good. That's when like Ryan Gosling's like a journalist, right? Or
It's Jake
Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal. He's
Fucking
like a
crazy, bro.
journalist, right?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I recommend it just because we're talking about this right now. Because I mean, dude, there was, I don't want to give any spoilers, but like, you know, he was like an up and coming journalist, and like, you know, it's all about getting to the scene first if you're a news source, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
if there's like a crazy ass murder or something like that, if you get there and you fucking you break the story first, you're gonna get rewarded, you know, through
Yeah.
compensation, all this stuff. So like, you know, it's just so crazy, like the way that things are structured. And then you look at that, bro, and you break that down, and that's what made me recognize like the news ain't doing nothing for me, bro. Like I swear to
Mm.
God, like I believe it's very important to be aware and informed, but you also got to be able to question shit, bro. And you got to recognize like the agendas that certain people, certain things have. That's why I'm just like constantly questioning everything, bro. And then through that questioning, further along as I've gotten into it, I've started to realize like, you know what, bro, I got to make a choice here. Where my, you know, where my energy goes, like I have a choice in the matter. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, whatever I'm like consuming, it's all up to me. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm consuming negative news shit all the time, that's like a cancer on me, bro. Like it's just gonna, for, at least for my personality,
Hmm.
because like I'm a I'm an empath, bro. I can feel like, you know, energies hella strongly, man. You know what I'm talking about? And if I allow myself to just like watch Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, any one of these fucking ones, bro, or even just like have an app on my phone that's constantly alerting me, it's gonna create this like fucking this fear, this fucking um anxiety, all these different things that are not serving me in my highest form. It's not helping me elevate to get to that next level of where I want to get. Like if I was constantly immersing myself in the news, bro, I wouldn't be able to be as positive as I try to be as much as possible, bro.
Hmm.
Because again, like I mentioned to you in the beginning, one of the main reasons for this podcast is to generate as much like positive energy as much as possible, bro. That's a very hard thing to do, but I feel like it's important, especially in today's world where there is so much fucking chaos, bro. And if I can do even just a sliver of that, like give a little bit of hope and a little bit of positivity, then I'm doing my job, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
bro.
it might seem like a far-fetched type of idea and shit like that, but it's something that I feel like, you know what, bro? It might be the reason why I'm still here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, straight up, man. Like that's a no, that's not too crazy. Like you gotta think big when it comes to these things, bro. Like I'll give you one example of like one of the first things one of the first things I started feeling when I'm not an empath or anything, but like when I started feeling outside of myself, bro. Like a couple weeks ago, you know the San Jose train accident, the shooting,
Mm-hmm.
bro. So we were actually working downtown like that morning. My
Wow.
my team and I, we were close right there, and all you could hear is the sirens and see the fucking cops and the ambulances like zoom by, and it was fucking crazy. And then we get a message from our team leader like, yo, we're gonna move you guys to another location for testing today. Like, some shit just went down. And then they sent us the video and the link. And then like that was one of the first times where I was just like, oh fuck, like damn, like I felt really fucking bad that day. Like, cause nothing happened to me. I was safe, but then just like to think of those people and like how close we were, I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude. I was like, damn, I really fucking I felt for those people. And like honestly, like that was the first, like I always, I feel bad for people. I don't want to say I feel bad, but like I'm saddened by people. But that was the first time I was like, wow, like that shit fucking hit me hard. And like
Yeah.
I didn't even know these people at all. And it's just
Yeah.
like, damn, it's like a fucked up situation. And you get into that story, and then what had happened is like, fuck, man, his victims did not deserve that shit. And it was fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, bro. Rest in peace to all the victims, man, and all the suffering and the pain and all the violence that's happening out in the world, bro. Like it just sucks, bro. And
That's why
you
you got
know,
to keep doing your work, bro. Like you got to keep doing this,
thank you,
man.
bro.
Like
Thank you,
hell
bro.
yeah. Like like I was telling you earlier, like about the about comedy. Like you start podcasting now, bro. Like this is when you start. Like there is no timetable for success. Like don't be like me and put a
Mm,
timestamp on like where your like where you think success is supposed to be,
mm-hmm.
because that just that honestly creates like anxiety, delusions, fucking a lot of heartache. And trust me, it's not just comedy or podcasting that I've been through that with. It's like other endeavors that I've like pursued in my life. It's just like, fuck, man, like I should have done this better, and then I could have got this result. And I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like now I've been able to step back and realize, okay, like this is the journey. Like as long as you put your nose to the ground and like really invest in yourself, like you'll be good, bro. Like you got this, man.
Right on. I appreciate that, bro. And right back at you, man. Like I told you earlier, bro, the conviction that you have when you speak about your passions, which is clearly comedy and podcasting, and the vision that you've clearly set the intention of bringing to life. It's already happening. The wheels are in motion for you, bro. And you just got to keep fucking going, bro. Lean in and tap into like resources that you feel intuitively that will help you. Because again, there is a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of information out there, but you got to be selective about what you consume, right? And I
Mhm.
think that like, similar to what we were saying, bro, with the law of attraction, bro, like as you progress and you move forward, so many more resources will present themselves. I mean, look at just the way we met, bro, to be dead ass. Like that's the law of attraction. You're a podcaster, I'm a podcaster, bro.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, it just happened. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and more, I swear to God, I have tons of examples of like how this happened, bro. Like as I've continued to again embark on my journey and go further and further into this process, bro. So many different resources have like presented themselves to me, bro. That is clearly the fucking law of attraction, bro. When
Yeah.
just like in the Alchemist, bro, when you know what the fuck you want to do, like the universe conspires in your favor, bro. And it's
Mhm.
again, it sounds fucking woo woo, bro, but I don't give a fuck because it's so fucking true,
But it's
bro.
true.
It's
Like
fucking dead ass true.
the corniest sayings are like the truest ones.
Yeah.
Like they're cliches for a reason.
That's a fact, bro. And you know what, bro? Like, I think something that we've been really talking about a lot in this conversation is just fucking, just keep developing yourself, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and I think that just your awareness of like putting that timestamp on your success is already a huge progress, progressive move in your favor, that you're aware of it. And then when you're aware of it, you can start to recognize like when it is starting to work in your, against you, you know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
you can be like, you know what, fuck that. Again, you're not running a race against anybody else but yourself. It's you versus you, bro. And that's something I got to constantly tell myself every single day, bro. But, you know,
Yeah.
and then one of these days, bro, like the payoff, like you're going to be like, damn, look at what I built, bro. I mean, think about Drake, bro. He just won Artist of the Decade, bro. I mean, I don't know, maybe his ambitions, maybe he did recognize that he was going to get to this place at some point, and maybe you do have to have this sense of belief that like is unbreakable, unshakable, to the point where like you see nothing else but that end goal. But maybe he didn't, maybe he just kept working, maybe he like knew exactly what he wanted to do, dedicate himself to his craft, and look at what he's fucking built, bro. I mean, you look back at some of his old work and you compare it to some of his new work right now, and it's just like, I mean, his old work was amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Hell
like
yeah.
his shit is so refined now, bro. Like it's just like when he's on a track, he is so like just he's sharp as they come, bro.
You got to put people in your corner, bro. You gotta have people who are in your corner. I was reading this thing the other day where they were talking, it was like a little meme or something, or somebody put it up on like Facebook or some shit. They said, it takes 6 to 8 people to carry your casket. Imagine if there were 6 to 8 people in your corner all the time.
Damn.
And like, like you can't force somebody into your corner, but like if you get those like few who really believe in your vision, and not just believe in your vision because like in the sense where they want to ride your coattails, but they want to help you get to that stage, bro. Like that's fucking amazing. That's why I was
Mm-hmm.
talking about my boy earlier. Shout out Justin, bro. Like he's one new member of my team, and that shit like jolted energy into me, like saying like, okay, like I have somebody who believes in me. And I'm not expecting him to do all the work, because that's fucked up, but it's like, okay, it's gonna force me to be able to level myself up and level the podcast up, and not only think about myself, but like have to think about him, and what I can do to help him out, to help me out, like help me help you, help me. But
Help
it's
me,
like,
help you,
not
like
not
Jeremy
in a
Bell.
not in a selfish way, but it's like now I can level up. I can think about other things when like I got somebody in my corner to help me do little little things where I don't have to worry about as much, So like, you got to build a team around you, man. And to get on
Facts.
to like be around, like Drake had, like he had Kuya, he had Nico, he had Lil Wayne that believed in him. He got like Young Money. And it's all building and stepping stones. But like, bro, like if you put that right team around you, and I got a great group of friends, amazing group of friends, and they are my team, but they're not my team where I can depend on them to help me put in this grind, because like
Mm-hmm.
that's not what I'm asking of them. But like once you find that team of people, it's like, fuck, okay, like we can really take this, because I used to be of this notion like, yo, you can, I mean, I think this is very Filipino as well. Like you can do this shit on your own. You can go at it alone. And I've come to learn that like while that is good and well in some regard, in like some phases of your life, like if you want to make it in like, say entertainment or sports or whatever, like in certain areas of life, you're going to need a team with you to like build you up, and to like not only just to push you to keep working, but just to tell you like, yo, like you're slacking right now. Like, oh, okay, like let me help you do this, because it's going to help us get to there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that core team. And like, I'm grateful that I got a lot of people that are on my side, and I just hope I can like be able to build up more, and more people will really fuck with the vision, and want to hop on, honestly. And I don't need that, but it would be cool to.
Oh
It would be
yeah.
cool to have, just because, like I said earlier, I'm not in it to be fucking selfish. If I got $75 out of something, I'll give two or three of my homies 25 each, and then we're out.
You did say that, bro, and that's important because like when one eats, we all eat, bro. I look at it the same way, man. And those that have been fucking with me, bro, like, and that's actually one of my biggest motivators, bro, is to be able to put everybody on. Like, I mean, I don't make that at like my responsibility or anything like that. But if I ever get myself into a position of like high success, like I do imagine myself to be in, it's not just gonna be about me, bruh. I want to put all my folks on my family and my friends, the people that have been rocking with me since my day ones, and even my new folks that be fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? And what you were describing too, bro, very much is like the same idea of like, you were able to kind of separate, like you differentiated like your ride or die friends and shit, like and the other group of people that are there to help you build your vision that you can kind of rely on for that to do the work and everything like that, right? That's the same concept of like having an accountability partner or or just somebody like a trainer, you know what I'm saying, or just somebody like people on your team that are in charge of certain things, bro. Like when you're held accountable, like you were talking about your one homie, I believe you said his name was Justin. Like you're like, oh shit, this is forcing me to level up. Like as he elevates, like, yo, I want to fucking do the same thing, bro, because iron sharpens iron, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
thank God, bro. I thank God all the time, and I'm very grateful for all the people in my life. The people that have been with me forever, and the people that have been rocking with me like hella more recently, bro. Like, like we see the vision, we hold each other accountable, we sharpen each other up, we keep each other sharp, we try to catch each other when we're slipping, all that type of shit. We're real with each other, and I think these are all critical and key components to building and really bringing that whole vision to life, bro. And you know what, man, it's something I've also learned too, to add to what we're talking about, bro. You gotta embrace and love the journey, bro. There's gonna be painful fucking moments, bro. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta fucking learn to love this shit, because you know what, we're very privileged to even be in this position to get to do what we're doing, bro, to get to build this shit, bro. And you know what I'm
Yeah, hell
saying,
yeah.
like it's amazing when if you wrap your mind around it, bro. Like again, similar to you, bro, like I was telling you earlier, bro, like I put myself in a lot of harmful situations that I probably might not, probably shouldn't have made it out alive. And the fact that I'm still here breathing and doing what I got to do, I got my health intact, thank God. I got my people with me, everything like that, bro.
Bro,
It's all for a bigger reason, bro.
I know I was meant to do something, bro, because it's gonna take a crazy turn. I almost died twice in my life. Like legit, not just like, oh my God, I almost died. Nah, like I almost died from internal bleeding
Whoa.
two separate times. And by like a small miracle, like both times I made it out and like stitched up and cool. So it's like, and this happened at a young age. I think it happened when I was like 13, and then
Wow.
again when I was like 19. But I always did think I was meant for something, but I also did use that as an excuse to say like, yo, I made it, I survived, like I'm owed these things, like, and I was kind of like bitter, you know what I mean?
Mm,
And it's a fine line between being knowing what you're owed and feeling like you're owed something. You feel that?
mm,
You get what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying?
I
And you
do.
and you and for a while I felt like I was owed, that I didn't have to put in the work and do what and like things were just going to come to me. But now it's like, okay, these things happened. Now it's just like a part of my story, and
Mm-hmm.
really like, okay, I can move on from this. Like I've gone past it. Like it was it's just now a reminder, like, yo, you could have died, but you're here still. So like, do something about it.
Do something with it. Yeah, no, I feel you, bro. And what you were saying as you were speaking about that, man, like, and thank you for sharing that story, bro. Real talk, man. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing. And thank God you still here, bro, because you know what I'm saying, you got bigger and better things to do while you were left on
Yeah.
this earth, bro. But you know, that's so relatable because I don't know if you know this about me, but probably not, because we just met like last week. But like I've mentioned it in several of my podcasts. I'm a former cancer survivor, bro. So aside from putting myself in like situations that were harmful, where I've been shot at, I've been in crazy ass fights where like I hit my motherfucking head, all this shit, and then I had cancer. So I was basically trying to kill myself. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Unconsciously,
Mhm.
and you know. I relate to so much of what you said, because after I got out of cancer, bro, or actually rewind a little bit, when I was going through cancer, I was telling myself, I was telling God, like, God, please just get me through this shit. Like, I promise I'll change my life. I promise I'll change my life. But at the end of the thing, at the end of my whole chemotherapy process, and I finally made it to the end of it. And I kind of reverted back to my old ways, because like there was a certain part of me that was like, oh yeah, I paid all my dues. I fucking You know, I
Mm-hmm.
fucking suffered hella much by going through this cancer shit, bro. And I used to kind of be almost, it was like a privileged mindset. It was like, oh, I did all this shit, bro. Everything that's coming to me, I already fucking paid my dues. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I recognized that was not the mindset that was going to get me the life that I desired. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had I had to kind of go through that loop again of like putting myself in stupid shit again, bro. And you know, they say that like life is going to keep bringing you the lessons until you fucking learn that motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like life is just gonna keep throwing you the same fucking series of tests until you fucking learn that shit. And I've always been that way. It's weird. My personality's always been I had to fall on my ass like however many times to learn the fucking lesson. And you know, I just thank God that I learned the lesson. And now I'm trying to be a lot more um, you know, I try to pick things up a little bit faster. That way I ain't gotta fucking waste no time. And, you know, I can get to my end destination a
mm-hmm.
lot quicker, you know what I'm saying? And similar to what you said, bro, I take that as part of my story and as part of my, you know, like what I can do to inspire other people, bro. Because what you said right there, again, thank you for sharing that life story with us because I always encourage people to share their story because you don't know how it's going to relate to somebody and what it's going to do to inspire them to, you know, if somebody's on the fence about doing something that they've always wanted to do for so long, and they might hear your story and it could just spark that inspiration in them and be like, dude, that story sounds just like mine. You know
Shit,
what?
I
I'm,
hope it does.
yeah. And you know what? It will, bro. Whether we know it or not, at some point, bro, it, like I got a lot of little cousins, you know, I got a lot of young homies, all that shit, bro. And all I try to do, man, is live my life the best way that I can in hopes of inspiring other people, bro. I'm not better nor worse than anybody else, but at the same time, like you referenced it earlier, bro, trying to get 1% better every day. As I continue to do that every single day, bro, I rise, and in turn the people around me rise too because like they're getting inspired. They see the change in me, bruh. And similar, I'm sure that's happening with people around you as well, whether they say it or not, bro. The more you push yourself, bro, it's inevitable that people are gonna be like, you know what, I gotta fucking push myself too, bro. Like, what excuse do I have? You know, Wally done been through all this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
not like you calling them out, but you calling them out by fucking elevating yourself, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this for my people. These motherfuckers hate me, so I don't know if I inspire them too much. Like I said, these motherfuckers hate me a lot. I talked a lot of shit. I've said a lot of things. So they love me, but they don't like me. And that's cool with me. Just keep
That's
coming to
hella
my
funny.
shows and support. Just keep coming to my shows and support me, and we gonna get there.
Hey, that's some real shit, bruh. Man, that's hella funny, bruh. Hey, man, but honestly, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Before we get up out of here, because we are, bruh, dude, it's 5:30, bruh. I think we got on the line at like 3:30.
Oh
This is
shit!
definitely a fucking Joe
Damn,
Rogan type of
time
conversation, man.
flew.
Yeah, and you know
That
how
shit.
it gets, bro. You know what I'm talking about with this podcasting, but that's the beauty of it. We could talk, we could sit here and talk for as long as we want. But before we get up out of here, man, I want to say thank you again. And is there anything else that you wanted to kind of, you know, chop it up about before we wrap shit up, bro?
Shit, nah. Let's end it on that. I feel like we had a. I think the last thing you said was really good. So like, let's finish it on that, man.
Yeah, good shit, bro. And we definitely gonna connect, bro. And you know, make this shit happen again. I'm looking forward to when you get that studio going and shit
Hell
like
yeah.
that, bro. And you know, I foresee a lot of big things coming for you, bro. You know,
Thank you. Thank you.
and you know, for those that are out there, you know, searching for what it is that they want to do, I advise you to go within yourself and figure out what motivates you, what drives you, what inspires you, what makes you feel alive. Like my boy Wally right here, man. This dude getting on stage, like he he called it like he'd never done crack, but like it basically was crack to him,
It's
bro.
crack. It's crack. Find your crack.
Yes,
Don't find
sir.
crack, but find your crack.
I'm dead, bro. But shit, man. On that note, my dude, thank you so much for tuning in to the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast. Wally, thank you again for joining us, bro. We're gonna make this happen again, man.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Right on for having me on, Chris. I appreciate it, bro.
Of course.